Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to another live stream. Obviously, not the same time as usual, 3 p.m., but I had to collect my PCR tests for the Champions League finals. So we ain't going to be filming at regular times for the next few days. And if things go well, we aren't going to be streaming on the Champions League final day as well, because we'll be in Porto enjoying the scenes and hopefully watching Chelsea lift their Champions League for the second time in their history. But big up everyone who's locked in. Big up the gang as well. All of their socials are down in the comment section below. So check it out and follow if you guys haven't done so already. We're going to start off with the earliest news from today. And shock and horror, VAR is fucking shit. Because the FA have removed Azpilicueta's 3-match suspension following a successful claim of wrongful dismissal. AKA VAR fucked up again. And you know when we say that we don't trust this shit, and it's constantly come to work against us throughout the Premier League season, this is just yet another example. This is like the Lo Celso red card that should have happened against us last season that didn't get overturned. Yeah. And they popped up about 5-10 minutes later like, sorry guys, we got this one wrong. This one's on us. My bad and everything, but we can't get the red card overturned now because the time's passed and everything. This is happening way too often, and we've said so many times about how VAR and the referees are playing against us. When things like this pop up, like thank God this red card didn't actually mean anything because it was only in the 90th minute of the game, and the game was already done. We'd lost it based on ourselves, not based off the red card. But these things constantly keep happening, time and time again. VAR comes out against us, and I don't know if it's a bias. I don't know if it's just the referees and they don't understand the rules of the own game that they're being paid to manage, but it's not working. It's clearly not working. The way the product is working right now, it's an absolute failure. But what are you man saying anyway?
VAR thing. To be fair, do you know what, Chester? Let me handle that. I'll talk to my office on handling those.
Yeah, get your paperwork in order.
Yeah, but it's just. It's never ending cycle, isn't it? Like, I don't know what to say. Like, if this continues on, till the Euros, I just can't see the longer term that VAR can stay in the Premier League and maybe in European football. But in the Premier League itself, it's not the VAR's fault. It's the one that running behind the VAR department that it have to take the blame for. The inability to, which one is right, which one's wrong. Something's wrong behind those going on behind those scenes, and we just don't know about it.
I agree with you on the fact that it's not VAR that's the problem; it's more the people behind it. Because other countries, like in the MLS, in the Bundesliga, they've got it done perfectly. With us, it's definitely the referees that are the problem. It's the people in charge of it. But this thing keeps happening. It keeps going back and forth again and again. Like, let me drop the to share screen because I'm going to show you guys a video that CFC Pies put up on his account. Let me know if you guys can see this, right? You guys all see the share screen? Yeah. Have a look at this. All the VAR decisions that have gone against us this season. We'll bring it back from the start. We first got the FA Cup final. That bullshit handball not called.
Look at that.
That one, to be honest, Werner could have smashed it. Another handball.
Yeah. That's a horrible one. That should have been a penalty.
The same thing got called for a penalty, I think, a few days. No, it was this one, the Thiago Silva one.
Yeah, legit same thing.
Sterling one, that's one of the most bait red cards going. This one's not really too much.
Harry Maguire and Azpilicueta.
In no way is that a red.
All of this, in the same season. We genuinely could have finished second place if VAR was more competent. Or if we could finish as well. It goes one way or the other.
Yeah. Like the offside.
And another thing, this offside rule with your arm is a load of wank because you can't score with your hands. So I don't get why that should count as offside.
That needs to be reviewed more than anything. The offside rule. It's a joke at the moment.
Yeah.
We've had so many high puts,
Yeah.
And do you know what I love, though? Tuchel's already on it. Like, he's already calling it out in interviews. He's already talking about all the penalties. That's a handball. That Arsenal one's a handball. The Tyrone Mings one is a handball. And I know people are saying, oh, if their arms are down by their side, then it's not. But he's literally blocked a goal from going in. That Havertz was going to score. Mount was going to score those ones. You can't block a shot with your hand. Like, That's mad.
Do you not remember what Ivanovic used to always do? Put his arms behind his back when he's about to block. Or Thiago Silva does it as well.
There was no point.
Put
There
your
was
arms
no
behind your
point
back
now.
when you're about to block.
You might as well just have your hands down because they're not going to give a penalty anyway, unless it's against Chelsea. But luckily, people calling it out in his interviews. I don't know if you lot saw his interview after. Was it Arsenal? Or was it Leicester? No, it was Leicester after Leicester. We didn't get the penalty for the first Werner foul, and then he just went off on all of the ones that we didn't get in the FA Cup final and the Arsenal game.
It's like Mourinho said back in 2015. I saw that. Yeah, but the referee was an absolute arsehole in that game. He played like he had a bet on Aston Villa pre-match.
Yeah. Like Tuchel don't care. He would just say his opinion about it and let him know and say, like, this is wrong, like, this is wrong, that is wrong. Like, what is VAR doing about all these decisions and everything? I've been saying about VAR as well, like, how inconsistent it has been this season. It's so bad. I want it scrapped at this point. It's not even good for, like,
it's most teams. Not even inconsistently. It's just consistently against us at this point. Oluwasi's saying, come on, Lewis, you could have finished second because of VAR was starting to sound like Arsenal fans. I hear what you're saying. It's also our shocking finishing too. Like, I'll throw that in there. It's probably more our shocking finishing too.
Yeah.
But you take a look at some of the decisions in there, and if it got given our way, suddenly that's another 6 to 9 points at the very least.
Do you know what the thing is with VAR for me? It's like, it's not just that it's going against us. It's when you watch a team like Man United get the decisions that they do, it pisses you off because there's clearly an inconsistency that we're seeing. And it's affecting sometimes the outcome of matches. It's affecting the way a match is going to actually go. And it's honestly something that I think I'm tired of blaming the technology itself because the technology is being implemented in other countries so far better that I'm like, bro, it's not the technology itself. It's the way we've implemented it in this country. And I'm like, to me, more than anything, what it's highlighted is how shit the referees are in this country, bro. They are shit at their jobs. There's no consequence to them fucking up. And that is an honest truth that there's nothing else I can say, bro, because you can't keep messing up and still keep getting matches, bro. Like, to me, I'm tired of it.
Yep. And the rule of VAR at the moment is that they only overturn it if they feel like the referee's made a clear and obvious error. So if the referee sees something that's wrong and he says it's right, they're not going to change it.
But
they
that's
only change it if they think the referee didn't see it.
Oscar, you know what the thing is? That in itself is the lie right there, bro. They will say stuff that the referee's clearly gotten wrong and won't say shit. They'll be like, VAR's taking a look at it. How do we know they're taking a look at it? What proof do we have that they're actually doing their jobs properly? And actually, in reality, what the situation is, fam, it's Chelsea. Who gives a shit?
I don't know.
That's what I think it's happening, bro.
I generally feel like the Premier League try to do everything to stop us from getting in the Champions League. I generally feel like that.
It probably looked like that towards the end as well. I'm not even going to lie to you. The last few games, the handballs, the continuous offside, the final game of the season as well, where Kai Havertz had that blatant handball when he was trying to go for the shot, and the referee just completely ignored it. Everything's kind of gone against us.
Even the Arsenal one, bro. It's like it's too many of them. And to me,
bro, we saw the West Brom game. The one thing that should have been a penalty instantly got given as a second yellow 10 minutes later for one of our own players, and it was the same incident twice.
Yeah,
it's typical, isn't it?
Legit, same incident.
Yes,
long time.
Yeah, man. I hope you're feeling well, man.
Yeah, feeling a bit better. How everyone's doing?
I'm very well, man.
Nervous.
Why are you nervous? We're going to get the king back. William. What? Come on.
We're going to get what?
William's coming back. We're going to have the king.
Oh, shit.
Wait, are you Johnny or Wayne? Are you Johnny or Wayne? Because you sound like Johnny now.
Oh, no. I don't know.
Willian ain't an academy player. Come on.
Talk about Will. I'm not surprised he wants to go back home after 1 year at Arsenal. Over Arsenal, it's a mess.
Yeah, but you should have signed that. You should have signed that 2-year deal then, if that's what you wanted.
Yep. He's a bit of a fool, like wanting a 3-year contract.
Nah.
Why is everyone nervous as well about the weekend?
What was that?
Why is everyone going to be nervous about the weekend? It's a Champions League final.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's
'cause
why we're
in this
nervous. Way.
situation a lot,
Yeah,
man.
but we've been there, we've done it. They haven't. So we're
I
gonna
get
have.
it, but are you going to look at the way we've played over the last few weeks and be confident? I think we have like 1 win in our last
Okay.
5 or something like that.
It's part of
Yep.
Tuchel's plan.
2012, leading up to the final, did we play well?
We won an FA
We
Cup.
played better.
Yeah, but we did. Yeah, we played, but we didn't really play
If
like
I
well as
get
we
our
can
last
do.
two
You know what I'm
games,
saying?
we got battered by Liverpool at Anfield like 3 days after beating them in the FA Cup, which is like my exact reason for saying whoever wins the FA Cup loses the Chelsea-Leicester game 3 days after, because it always happens. There was a 2-0 to Newcastle where it was just 2 Papis Cisse wonder goals. And other than that, we weren't even that bad, to be honest. Like we had too much ground to make up for top 4 anyway because of the OS era.
Louis, what worries me is not those results. I mean, it is those results because it's the fact that we had big occasions to step up for and we didn't step up. So this is the biggest of them all. They showed bad mentality. Top 4 is on the line. Our leaders, where were our leaders in that game? FA Cup, it looked like we didn't want to win the FA Cup. The body language was poor. We needed our leaders. Where were they? You know what I mean? So that's what's worrying. Like I can understand it if we were actually playing those games and fighting and giving it our all, and we just lost and got unlucky. But it's just from the mentality side that I was just very worried about. Because if like say City go up in that game or something like that, I don't know. Like who are we gonna fall back on? Like we can't depend on. This is not. Nobody take this as a dig on Mount. We can't depend on like Mount and Pulisic should like lead us out the rut, you know what I mean, or just dig us out. So
Myron's bringing up a good point, though. I think we might have had this game in our minds the whole time, hence the poor form of late. The Aston Villa game really did look like the players were not playing at 100%. They were trying to protect themselves, the final in mind. Even when Havertz and Ziyech were coming on, like they played well and they offered a good impact on the game, but they didn't look like they were playing at 100% either with this game in mind. And I get that, but we played the exact same way in the Arsenal match with the game of the FA Cup final in mind. And we still didn't really turn up in that match either. So for me, it's like, if we're going to do that, then you need to turn up on the big stage.
Yeah.
And then against Aston Villa,
enough times recently for me.
Aston Villa, the reason why we
They
lost
literally-
against Aston Villa was because of Kante. Kante weren't, because if you look at the goals, because I've obviously weren't with you guys, but I've got to see the highlights because I've been.
What's good, my
Lewis
brothers?
has been very, very unwell.
Discussing.
But I got to see the
man.
highlights, and Kante was the reason why we lost. Because that first goal, he would have been in that position, but at the start of the box, he would have sniffed it out. He would have realised where the one was going, and he would put himself there. And with Jorginho's tackle, I don't think he would have been there if it weren't for Kante. If Kante was there, I don't think that would have been a penalty. Because I don't think it would have been that cut and dry like Jorginho let it be. I personally think that's why I'm confident. Because if Kante's fit against Man City, I truly think we will have enough. Because I think Kante is such a
Phenomenal
I don't know how to
player.
explain it, but if he clicks and ticks, the whole team ticks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree with that. He's a defensive. He's so good defensively as well, man. What's good? I like the way how he breaks up play. Like we don't have anyone in our team to do that for him. So that's why when he gets injured, it's such a big problem.
And Kante turns it up a level for the big games, man.
And he pressures, and he's press. And how he scored, he dominates the midfield, man. Like was scored, the way how he scored the tackles, like you can see the players, the opposite players, the way how he was scored. They're always looking, turning a corner, looking. Even if he doesn't make a tackle, just his presence in the midfield is needed.
Yeah.
His presence in the midfield is needed, man.
like they know like
He's there. They know he's
far
there.
away.
Yeah, they know he's not far away. Like Phil Foden said himself, you know. Phil Foden said himself, man. He's always there. That sounds so weird as well, man.
No, but that is a big.
If we have Jorginho, Kante in the midfield, like I'm confident. Because
Yeah, I'm confident me as well,
Kante,
man.
all I want is someone behind him to sit deep, and we're good.
Oh,
Like,
God.
I feel like we have the old N'Golo Kante back as well, so I'm all for it. And he's been in amazing form in the Champions League. So, as much as Kovacic is saying he'd love to start and everything, he looks too rusty coming off of the
Nah,
last
man.
game.
The last two games,
Very
last two
rusty.
games, the last two
Very
games, yeah,
rusty.
he's been moving
He said it
stupid.
himself.
for the last 2 games. I don't think he should start, man.
He
Junior
said
and Kante
No,
what
but I
are
happened?
think
This is
he
what
can
happened.
substitute. I'd
Wait,
come
wait,
on.
wait. Javi, what were you saying?
He said it himself in an interview. He's like, because he's been out for a month, his match. Oh shit, sorry. He said he's been out for a month, so his match fitness hasn't been there. So that's why you see him like slacking off. Like it's hard for him to get that match fitness back.
That's the.
So,
that's
but I'm saying like I don't think he should start because of that.
Yeah.
Like we don't need no non-match fit players in a Champions League final. Because if
facts.
you give it away to City deep in your half, trust me, they will punish you. Did you see them?
Can't you say Kante's squad is not as good as fit as squad as well? Man, we matched for the UC.
Oh, guys, I got to shoot. You heard? I'll see you guys.
All right, in a bit, bro. I kind of disagree, though. I disagree. I feel like we need our best players.
Yeah, and Kante Junior is our best pivoter for me. Like I feel like Junior sits back and holds the midfield,
That's the
screens the
thing.
defense, and lets Kante go forward and break up play, and link up play the attack. So I think that's fine, to be fair.
Ace Ready as well saying, I hope we can replicate the first Real Madrid match, and we should use that lineup where we look spectacular. But again, we just need to bloody finish. I think if you're talking about the second leg, I feel like the entire lineup from there should be our starting lineup for the Champions League final as well. But as you said, for months and months on end, the one thing that will hold us back is our conversion rate. How many chances are we going to fluff before we either made to pay or actually put one into the net?
Disgusting finishing. Man.
The thing is,
honestly.
I need to ask, really, to everyone on the panel, do you think Werner should start?
Yes.
I know what.
Yeah, we need him. We need him. Like, I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy. Yeah, but I'll be honest when I say this. It's not because of how good he is. It's because he's the only player in the team that offers that. Where he has that pace and movement. He's the only player that offers that. If you get another striker in the summer who can do what he does and actually score goals, then he shouldn't start for Chelsea.
Kazi, what does he offer?
His pace and movement, man. He's the only one who can actually make these runs. Like time is a little bit too static.
I'm gonna be real. High line, you need Timo Werner.
I just wanted to hear Kazi give Werner some praise because I've never heard
I'm not giving him praise. I'm just saying he's the only guy that does, and he's the only guy. He's the best out of a bad bunch. That's what he is. I agree. That's what he is. He's the best out of a bad bunch. Like I'm sorry, but he deserves to start over Tammy and Giroud, man. Tammy and Giroud was called. They're good strikers in their own, but
yeah,
we need someone to run in behind, man. To run in behind and make runs.
You're talking about
And Timo does that. Timo does that.
You blocked the wrong person.
Yeah, my bad. Myron, give me a sec. I'll get you back here. That was an accident.
There's literally 5 around my placeovers.
1 second. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec quickly. I need to.
Speaking
I
about
blocked Myron by accident. I was meant to block somebody
Speaking
else.
about transfer daily,
Whoops.
Speaking about transfer, I don't think we necessarily want Willian or Hazard back. Just because they said, "Oh, we want the band getting back together," but I think
get the mother. Nah, man, we're not.
We're not having Willian back.
Hazard, I would have him back.
And I'm not taking Hazard back. I'm not taking Hazard back, man.
I would
take Hazard as a bench player.
43 million Hazard, man.
No. What's happened? We swapped Ziyech for him.
No, man. Real Madrid aren't taking Ziyech, man. Why they take Ziyech here? Who isn't that good, man? He's like 28 years old, man. No, I'm not taking any Hazard, man. He's gone, man. He's left, and it's another phase.
Why did we get dropped? We got Drogba back at one point, remember?
First of all, how much did we buy Drogba for?
Not 40 million, no. Not 40 million, no.
The second thing.
David Luiz was a starter, though, to start in the 3 at the back system, though. He was an actual star.
Yeah, but are you saying to me that Hazard has literally got nothing left? He's done out.
Yes, he's done out here. He's done
out.
Never know.
Bring Hazard back. He hasn't done anything in the past 2 years. You look at his Real Madrid side.
Bro, he's played about 30 games in 2 seasons.
So he's finished. So why do you want him?
That's the guy you're defending.
Like, what I'm saying is, to me, that shows me that Real Madrid have done a terrible job of his fitness.
Oh, stop! First of all, can I just say this real quick, by the way, about his fitness here? I'm sorry. How can you help a guy who continues to get fat over what's good on periods where he's supposed to be resting?
He's
and
not
actually
fat
getting
now.
diet, bro. Let me finish. What this guy has not helped himself over the years, man. I'm sorry. When you hit the age of 30, you're going to have to take care of your body. care of your body to a higher degree, man.
And mine,
For
I'm
you,
back.
for you to be able to play over 30, you have to do that, man. Hazard hasn't been able to do that. This guy, if he has one more injury, and he needs surgery, he might not be able to play football. Like that's what we're dealing with right here, man.
Yeah.
Like please,
guys, bringing Hazard and Willian back. There's no
generally see
for
differently in it.
Hazard would only make sense for us on the cheap. Like if he takes a massive pay cut and if it's a massively reduced transfer, even cheaper than the one that we originally signed him for, then I would take it.
I'm not paying him 200 bags a week, man. I'm not paying him 200 bags a week, man. I'm sorry, man. 200 bags a week for a bench player. Yes, he will.
You're not paying him. Chelsea is.
Yes, he would, bro.
I reckon 100 and something grand. Look at Thiago Silva, 105 grand.
But he's a starter in the team.
I would
Wait. That's my point. He's a starter and he's on 105.
And Hazard would not be starting for Chelsea, though. And Hazard
Yeah, I know,
starting for us.
but that's what I mean. So why would it be 200k a week on the bench when Thiago
First of
Silva
all,
starts?
why would you spend 100k on a person who's going to be inside a pharmacy, man?
Hey,
That's what he is, man.
okay,
Eden Hazard
100K.
pharmacy, bro.
100k for Hazard on the bench. Yeah, that's not bad.
If Eden Hazard was doing well at Real Madrid, scoring goals, creating like the play for them, and he wanted to leave, then maybe we could have this conversation. But he's had 2 poor seasons. Why would we bring him in?
Donny's finished,
think
man.
about what you're saying.
Real
bro.
Madrid
Like,
are ruining him.
if he was doing well,
Man, shut up with that bit.
why would they sell it?
Well, in the same way that Thiago Silva was doing well and the contract ran out and he just left.
No.
I'm saying, if his contract was running out at Real Madrid and he was playing well, I'd be like, yeah, let's bring him in. But he's not been playing well for 2 seasons. You want to bring that guy into a side that's also playing well.
He's barely played, bro. Come on.
Bro, no, but we need to.
Be fair, in the time that he has played since he came back from his last season, he has looked pretty good. There's been so few and far between. You can't.
It's been one backhill, man. One backhill before he was back, man.
I can say the same for like Kai Havertz. When he's been fit, he's come in, he's played well here and there. But majority of the season, we haven't seen the best of him. Why would I bring another player in that's like that? We have to hope he doesn't get injured or hope he's 100%.
That's why he couldn't come in and be like a crucial player to us. He'd have to be a squad player if he came. He'd have to be the transfer valuation and the wage of a squad player too.
Facts,
in
man.
terms of the money, in terms of paying him per week, until we start getting rid of the likes of Ross Barkley, Bakayoko, Zappacosta, these men who are on 70k a week to 110k a week and are doing nothing on our pay packet, there's no way that could happen. You get rid of those 3, you could really afford to do that in terms of the wage packet. But we can't do it whilst we still have these guys on our loan system. That's a big problem in itself. Santana man saying Werner better not touch pitch, Pulisic step up. I don't really want to see Pulisic play after the last.
He's been like, but that guy, is Eden Hazard, man. He's the American Eden Hazard, man. Honestly, man. Like he's so injury prone right now, man.
I wish. The Hazard was strong on the ball at least.
This is where the disrespect is, isn't it? Like, let's not forget who Hazard was, though, man. Come on.
He was a very good player, man. He's a very good player.
America needed Hazard is a bit of a madness.
And I think that's
we wish.
Yeah, I'm okay. I take that back, by the way.
More to like not get him back in because let his legacy be good in our eyes. Don't bring him back, and then we're gonna end up being that last image of Hazard is gonna leave like that back.
What's called him clutching his knee on the fucking ground. But versus Arsenal, because that's our luck right there, man. Against Arsenal, then we lose 2-0. Do you know what I mean? That's our luck right there, man. That's our luck right there.
He gave us his last season was his best season, and then he gave us the Europa League over Arsenal, and that was the send off. Since then, he hasn't really had a good consistent run of form. Bringing him back seems like a backwards move for me.
Very good player, man. But I'm sick and tired of this sentiment, yeah. You guys were saying, Kobe's sentiment from Frank Lampard. Okay, now do we have Eden Hazard, man? This guy shouldn't be coming back, man.
What?
He shouldn't.
Frank Lampard is the manager, though. That's different.
It's still the sentiment.
No, but the sentiment's still there. Like,
I hear what you're saying, bro, but I still see it differently. I would personally take him back, but I get what you're saying.
Yes, Myron, again, sorry about that, bro. Because Drogba at least came in a year we won the league. But Drogba came in a similar role that I'd like Eden Hazard to come into. And if he takes the same pay cut, and he ain't going to be for free unless we get him on loan, and there's no chance of that happening.
If he goes pay as you pay as you play, that's perfect.
I hear what you're saying. I wish. I just wish. There's no chance of that happening, though. Like, but I will take Eden Hazard levels
these
over
guys are
taking
freaking
Willian back at
rich.
the club. I don't know where the sources are getting this
the
information
whole Willian thing,
that
nah,
Willian
this-
wants to come back
Nah,
to the
man.
club.
No,
But
Willian can
fuck
stay at
that.
Arsenal, man. He's done out.
Willian, I won't even pick him, bruv. I won't even
It's
say
the thing I want to say about Willian, and this is why I just don't believe this. First of all, he is on a 3-year contract at Arsenal. Why the fuck would we pay money for this guy?
Yep.
Facts.
Why would we pay money for him?
Motherfucker's finished, man. He's done out here.
Like, you say that, and then the whole fucking conversation is over because we're not paying money for this guy. We know he's dead. That's why we didn't offer him
He's
a 3-year
finished.
deal in the first
He's
place.
finished, man.
You know why he wants to come back though? Because David Luiz is
Because we're
leaving.
competent.
No, because David Luiz is leaving, and he's got no one there.
And
So he
Thiago
wants
Silva's
to go back where he feels it's home, and that's why he wants to come back to Chelsea.
No, why
I'm not
Look
saying
at
he should
Johnny's,
come back
look at
to
Johnny's
Chelsea.
comment. Look at Johnny's comment. Sickening.
That's terrible, man. You know, that's
Yeah.
really terrible.
Sickening. Not
Johnny,
even a drop
you know,
of
no,
beans
hold
in
on.
the
You know,
eyes,
bro,
CBA.
I always
Where's
agree with
Johnny,
Johnny,
bro?
innit?
Get Johnny
Most of
in.
the time, I agree
Johnny
with
said
Johnny,
he's
innit?
busy, but if you want to hop on for a few minutes, I'll still send over the link.
Bro, most of the time I agree with Johnny, but nah, man. I'm saying you can't take Eden Hazard. If you're taking Eden Hazard back, yeah, you're just giving up on all these youngsters in
Look,
their time to develop, man.
Facts, man.
When
not with
Hazard
that, man.
left,
Not with
when
that.
Hazard left, he gave the keys to someone else, and we
The
disrespected
chosen one.
that
You
guy.
get me?
We-
Come on, man.
So there you go.
Oh, man, you never chose him because of it, man. You're not one of them chose him, isn't it,
Nah,
man?
man. I fuck
There's
with
so
you,
many
bro.
other decent winger options than Willian. We could go
Please,
for Jadon
man.
Sancho.
God save
We
me.
could go for
Why?
Pedro Neto. We could bring Jeremy Boga back.
Bro,
Hell,
Pedro
fucking
is that
hell,
guy,
don't
bro.
Mbappe have a year left on his contract?
Yeah,
Nah,
he does.
Mbappe.
Yeah,
Lewis.
If
Yeah,
he has
who
a
else
year
I
left
would?
on his contract, let's have some balls and fucking put a deal on the table.
Do you know who
If
else
you
I
want
would?
to talk
He'll
about
probably be one of
marquee
the
signing, there you
highest
go.
though.
What
Yeah,
about
Lewis.
Mbemba?
Can I say this, guys? Pedro Neto is that guy, bro. In 3 years' time, he is that guy. The way how he plays football, the way how he moves, he is that guy. And I can't see what he's going to become.
Kazi, that's facts. He has one of like the highest goal creation. Like his stats are ridiculous.
Bro,
for
he's playing
somebody
with
old.
he's playing some dead
Forgot.
finishes, bro. With Adama Traore and who's that tall Wallad, what's it called? And that Portuguese Wallad, I never know what his name is, bro.
Do you know what? Yeah, the only thing where the reason I like Neto, I think he's a great player, but I don't want any more young players, man. I think if we're buying someone now,
Yeah, I'm
they've
saying
got
like
to be
3
ready.
years, 3 years,
They've
like
got to
3
be
years,
ready
3
now.
years time.
True. Just
I hear what you're saying. That's the same thing I'm saying for
After.
up front. So I get
That's-
that point.
That's the thing that's
So
going
what about
now. We don't have like in tough moments. We don't have those like the quality and the leadership. Like I think there's some leaders, but we need those guys that actually put away the chances and step up in a big game or like steady the ship. You know what I mean?
You have to invest in them. That's the thing, especially with young players, and think long term. And at the moment, the way our fan base is moving and the way the club is moving, we're not really committed to long term thinking here. We're thinking like we need to be competing ASAP. And the problem is with that, you're going to spend money, and sometimes you're going to spend it wrong, which is the biggest problem we have at Chelsea. We end up with deadwood players sometimes too much.
Yeah, I agree.
what do you guys think about Harry Kane now as well? Because obviously
Nah, man,
Pochettino looks like he's going back to Tottenham.
Is he?
No,
Poch.
Poch is going
he's
back
not
to
going. He's
Tottenham.
not going.
Nah, he's not
Yeah,
going. He's not
yeah.
going back, man. He ain't going
No,
back.
That would
Well,
make that would make
Wait.
zero sense.
He's
Before
on
we move off the
favourite
topic,
to go
If he
back
did
to
that.
Tottenham.
Hold on. Before we move off, who made that statement about the deadwood players? Because that's like a great statement. Because I think right now the club is still like recovering from the bad decisions that we made.
In the past, yeah, I did, yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
Poch is looking like a real fraud, though. Can't lie.
Like right
Yeah,
now,
but, like-
we're trying to get all these guys off of our like wage bill, and
But that's the thing, isn't it? The punishment that we are getting now is coming from the fact that we fired so many managers, and each manager that came in is buying what he thinks works for his system.
Yeah,
The problem is the club then ends up with these players. The next manager comes in, he said, well, I don't like this left back, or I don't like this guy who plays in centre mid. And the issue is then we're in that continuous cycle where we're spending money, but we're doing it wrong. To me, this is why you need a manager. Like, find a manager. I don't know who it is. Find somebody. If it's too cool, great. But stick with them for at least 3 years. And I generally do think the club will reap the rewards for it. But the problem is then what you appoint after that needs to be in the same rhythm. Because otherwise, you're screwed. You're starting back to square one again. And I'm tired of it. Personally, as a fan, I'm absolutely tired. I don't want it to be in a position where we're signing Danny Drinkwater, Papa Della Bodi, and all of this bullshit, bro.
Man, David Zabacosta, bro. Man, Zabacosta, you know.
That's the club is run like a
Zabacosta, you know.
business as well, though.
Like, man, done, bro. Man said Zabacosta.
I honestly
One
think
thing-
Tuchel could be the
Man,
right.
mad.
One sec. Let's go through a lot of these. Would you do Hudson-Odoi plus
Areola.
cash for Sancho? Reports Bayern Munich are interested in him. Zappacosta to Atlanta. Alphonse Areola as backup keeper next year. Discuss. Right. We'll start first of all with Hudson-Odoi and cash for Sancho because we were going to go into this one anyway. And there's rumours saying that Chelsea were
Bye-bye.
willing to let Hudson-Odoi go on loan. Now, if we were to bring in Jadon Sancho and send Hudson-Odoi on like a 1 year or 2 year loan to Bayern Munich, I personally would back that if it was as a loan deal because that gives him more game time. It's like we said, it's a very open league as well for the attacking players, which would give him a lot of confidence too. So I would back that as long as it's not an obligation to buy afterwards or it's not keeping him there till the end of his contract. If it leaves him on loan at Dortmund for long term and it brings Jadon Sancho in, I personally wouldn't be totally against that. Depends on the price tag, of course, but Hudson-Odoi on loan plus cash for Sancho, I'm cool with that. What's everyone saying?
Lewis, that's Dortmund, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't believe Odoi is going to learn, man. I don't. I think Tuchel has big plans for the next season, man. The way how it's called.
I don't know about that, though.
I don't know
I
because
do.
we see him play a lot more if that's the case.
Yeah, I know. I do, man. I do score. I do think what's called Tuchel has. I like Cho. I do call the other guys Odoi Sims, but I do feel he's a very good player. I feel like his passing, his dribbling, ability. Bro, like, Oscar, you are an Odoi Sim, man. Let's be honest. You are, man. Also good. Also good. The way how Tuchel talks about him, and it might sound weird when I say this, but the way how it's called, Tuchel hugs him. It might sound weird when I say this, but I do feel like what's called there is a serious bond between the manager and what's called him. I do think next season he's gonna have something.
Wait, did I say someone else instead of Dortmund?
And you said Bayern Munich instead of
Bayern Munich.
Yeah. But it's a mistake, bro, because it says BVB.
Simple mistake.
It's BVB. I'm holding myself to that. That's a howler.
I think like the Cho for Sancho thing, if it's a loan, I wouldn't really back it, but it would have to be 1 year. I'm not about this 2 year loan thing because if he goes for 1 year, he'll do like it'll be. I think it'll be similar case to Tomori. He'll go on loan, we'll realize how good he is, and then want him back. The reason like everyone's okay with Tomori's situation is because our defense is doing really, really well under Tuchel, so you can't really.
Men are dead, bro. Pulisic and that man there, yeah.
If we let Cho go and our attackers perform how they have performed this season, we'll want him back straight away because I have no doubts in my mind that he would go to Dortmund and do well. No doubt at all.
I agree with that. Man. I feel like the playing time and also Erling Haaland's staying for another year, you know. So imagine Cho playing for Erling Haaland, with an actual striker who can finish a chance.
In an open league as well.
In an open league as well, man.
Bags of confidence.
He'll come back.
I think he needs that after his injury. He needs that like good running flow.
6 a.m. flight. Oh fuck you, man. You man, don't want me to say that. Swear down. You bastards.
6 a.m. is
Oh, come on,
no,
Lewis.
6 a.m., not p.m.
Yeah,
Oh, come on, Lewis.
No.
You done Atletico.
like
6 a.m.
when I normally go away, it's normally early for me as well.
Really,
like,
it's not bad. Man, I have to sleep in Gatwick Airport, you know.
Wait, you actually going to the final, Lewis?
Well, as long as my tests don't come back positive, we're all good. But as long as my luck will come back as positive, and I'll just want to jump off my balcony.
Well, last time.
350 quid in the mud. 350 quid in the mud. Zappacosta to Atlanta, just whoever wants him. I don't really care who. Just pay up. Areola is backup keeper next year.
Wouldn't mind.
We need a backup keeper anyway. As long as they ain't Kepa, I don't really care.
That's a great shout.
I'm done to Kepa, bro. Like Kepa's.
So I would
if we don't sell Kepa, do we get a backup?
What?
If we don't sell Kepa?
I think Kepa.
We need a third choice.
No, we don't sell Kepa regardless.
You would want Areola in.
No, because what I'm saying is Kepa isn't going because we're going to want to get as much resale money as possible. That's not right. Yeah, that's not happening. So we send them out on loan. We send them out on loan and get Areola in. If he can build up a bit more resale value in that season on loan, then we sell him. Or maybe the club we loan him out to will want to keep him on a permanent. But we're going to make a loss on him regardless, so we have to loan him out.
Fair enough.
Do you want to laugh,
Yeah, we're
guys?
not getting 70 million back.
Would you, I
No,
can't
I'm
lie,
going to say, you guys,
slow
is going to
thing,
make you laugh.
Go on.
On a
I've just
personal
seen
level,
Tammy
No,
Abraham.
Ziyech here.
One sec. Let go on, Wayne.
Oh, my
Tammy
bad.
Abraham is favourites to go to Man United.
No, fuck off. No way.
No.
Man
way.
United 5-2 favourites to sign in this summer.
What the
Look at
fuck
that.
are you?
I know it says favourites, but I don't believe he's gonna go to
Let him
United.
go,
What reason?
whatever.
What reason does he
let
have
him
to
go.
go to United for?
They
If he's not
just
good enough for Chelsea, why is he good enough for Man United?
He's good enough for Chelsea.
I don't think he's good enough. I don't think the problem is he's good
Well,
enough for Chelsea. I just feel like he's
if
not
he's
getting
good
game
enough,
time,
so
man.
why ain't he playing?
That's like saying
Tuchel
Chelsea's good
decides
enough.
not to
Man.
play him. It's not because like one manager says no. Like he scored 15 goals last season. He scored more goals than any of our players. So we could
Yeah.
have done with him. It's just a matter of system and preference. Tuchel doesn't fancy him, so he has to go somewhere.
Neither did Lampard in the second season.
But
Miguel said
if Oli fancies him, he'll score goals for United.
no, thank you.
True.
You can have-
If
Nah,
Ollie
nah.
likes them, then
Yeah, but-
he can pay 50 million. Pay 50 million.
I don't
Why
think
paying
I'm-
50 million, Chris? Why are you
No,
moving
but
bare? What's called
Why would
ridiculous like
Tammy
that, man?
be in? Why would
What?
this whole thing doesn't make sense? Tammy to Man United, and these men are talking about Harry Kane first, and now they're going to Tammy Abraham.
Man, it's like
Exactly,
Jamie.
that's what made me
Yeah,
laugh.
that was
I can't lie. I spoke to Flawless. Yeah, Flawless said to me, he wants on a real note. Yeah, he said that this summer, yeah, Manchester United wants to get like a Varane and Didi Sancho. That's their priority target.
They ain't getting around. They ain't getting all these, man. Are you mad?
They ain't getting in
Okay,
DD.
They ain't getting Indeed. They ain't getting
Again,
Varane,
Ben
man.
White,
Forget,
yeah.
bro. They're
Yeah,
gonna
no.
get one. They're gonna get one player. That's it. That's done. Finished. Do you know what I
The
mean?
one player Tammy.
Bro, no, not one player. They'll probably get Sancho.
Hi,
something like
Johnny. I'll throw you the link. 1 second. If you,
They'll
if you
get-
got
They'll get a big player in, and then they'll get a couple of side additions, and Tammy can
Like,
be one of them.
They just signed. They were
Nah,
desperate. They were
I
fiending
don't
to
want
sign
them.
Cavani back. Fiending to sign Cavani. You know what I mean? They're not gonna bench him next year because they were so desperate to get him back, like for him to sign. He was so desperate to go to Boca, or I forgot, somewhere in Argentina.
I can guarantee this: United desperate to get Sancho. That's for sure.
So they're gonna sign like a winger or something.
So Liverpool though. Liverpool are going to be the dark horses in this race, bro. Don't count them out. They got a lot of deadwood.
You think
Why?
They've been, the thing
Why
about
do you think
Liverpool,
Liverpool gonna
No,
sign
but you just
someone
said
this
they have a
summer?
lot of dead woods.
I don't
They've
think
got to
so.
clear that out first.
Yeah, but I'm confident they will, man. I'm very confident they will.
they've got a lot of dead wood
Sure.
to
Get
get
rid
rid
of
of too.
them. You know what Naldon's going.
Yeah, Wijnaldum's gone. They got to offload Shaqiri, Origi, a couple other man.
It's a lot.
But
of
even
attack.
Why Naldum's not a bad midfielder.
Santana man also
But
said
he ain't what?
He's
He
very
ain't-
underrated, Chris. He's very
Okay,
underrated.
hold on.
I'm not saying he's
not
world
level.
class.
He ain't even elite, man.
Underrated.
He's a good midfielder, man. He ain't elite, man. He's
Yeah.
a good
He was
midfielder.
so important for them
I
when
just
they,
said that.
when they
I said
actually
he's
won
good.
the league and the Champions League.
Yo,
he
but
was
it's
one of the
a
most
pressing
important players.
pressing system,
Hey,
though, man.
yeah, he's a system player. Kazi's right.
He's a system player, man. Like ain't got nothing about him. Like what's cool. That's special.
But they're still keeping Keita.
Wait, who's Peter Mars? Is he?
Keita, it's a thing of Keita, yeah. It's a bit like Kovacic, man. Where he was good dribbles, yeah, but gets in the final.
No, he's not
I think
even
we
close
kind
to
of
the,
need
he's
to
not even
talk
close to
about
top digits level though.
bro.
I said a bit like.
What are you saying, Xavi? What are you
I
saying?
said he's like him.
One-
My bad,
one sec.
Cassie.
It's
One sec,
like
we'll get to Javi quick. Santana man said BTEC Mahrez plus cash for Sancho and not Hudson Odoi. I think he's talking about hacking Ziyech, which to be honest I would back. Cho or Ziyech for me would be fine, but Cho would have to be on a loan deal. If it was Ziyech that's going, Ziyech would have to be a transfer.
I can't watch Cho become a World Cup player, man. I can't do that
No,
again.
but
man.
Cho would have to be a loan deal so he can come back.
It's happening,
Yeah.
bro. Whether it happens here or somewhere else.
And
It's
that's what I'm
happening.
saying. I'm saying it's good at another place, you know.
Bro, why is everyone
no
crying
matter
about
what,
Ziyech?
alone is
I don't
great for
understand,
Cho.
bro.
Man, Ziyech is finished, bro.
Ziyech-
Like, hey, yo, Kazilla, please, I beg of you.
Chat to me, bro.
I do agree.
Hey, yo, Kazilla, he's finished, bro. He's finished,
Ow.
man. That guy
Did
ain't
you
the
see-
one, man. He ain't the one, bro. He's
Because
not the one that we
his
think he is.
position.
G,
He's not playing his position,
bro,
bro.
none of these men are playing in this position yet. This guy, I've never seen a guy just do what he wants, walk around the pitch, man. Brother, I'm not a fan of passion
He's
merchants.
good
yeah?
like that.
No, let me finish, man. I'm not a fan of passion merchants, but I'm sorry if we're not getting what's called the assist and goals of like a Mesut Ozil or Messi, who what's called are these guys who get assists but they don't track back. I want you tracking back, man. You don't have the assist. You don't have the goals.
What the hell?
No, he doesn't,
The thing
man. What
about-
assist?
Even Ziyech can create. He
How
can
many?
create.
How many?
If you
Drink
no,
what?
but like
Drink
it's
what?
not even it's
Drink
not
what?
even just what's that noise?
Do you remember that time we played against Leeds? Yeah.
No,
Do you remember that time against
it's
Leeds?
not-
When Havertz, let me
No,
finish, man.
the last
When I-
game, the last
Let me finish,
game,
Chris. Let me finish,
yeah.
Chris. Chris, it's my point, man. Let me finish. What I'm saying, yeah, against Squad, I remember against Leeds, yeah, where the guy was literally in the box. Was Kai Havertz, yeah, was on the edge of the box, looking at the box, yeah. There's literally open space for him to run in, yeah. And all I saw him doing there was him wiping his eyebrow and walking there, man. And tell me what's called. This is our 27-year-old leading our our most experienced attacker.
But bro,
What's
you
he
know
done
it's
to
it?
him? What's he
Bro,
done to
listen,
squad
you know
to
it is,
deserve
yeah.
that?
Ziyech
But
has he has a place in his team. Same way Werner has a place in his team when we're playing against a high line. Against a low block, you start Hakim Ziyech. It's like that, bro. When you see Hakim
Yeah.
Ziyech against Arsenal, do you see the passes that he was playing? That was
Did you
our
see-
main source of creativity, fam.
Did you say against Brian? Did you say against Brian when the guy was trying to do nutmegs, like 5 different nutmegs?
Yeah,
What's
but
gonna-
Brian
the kebab-
actually not like a
kebab
low
shop,
block.
the kebab shop, Ronaldinho, man. That's what he was, man. The kebab shop Ronaldinho. That's what he was right there.
And even the
Go on,
Aston
Chris, what
Villa
you say?
game, where he literally, the first goal we scored, he literally pulled it forward for the cross, and that was a great forward pass. And then even for the second one, where he literally crossed it to Chilwell, maybe Chilwell's second goal against Aston Villa, that was a really good cross, and how he moved in there.
Wait, can I just, what
You
game
not
was
remember?
Aston Villa game? What Aston Villa game was this again?
This Aston Villa game we just played,
This
like
one
literally
I
the
just got
first one.
past.
I can mention.
If
Go,
you
go, go,
rewatch
go.
Ziyech in the Aston Villa game when he came on, he was actually really good. Like the first goal was basically because of him, and the second goal we could have scored with Chilwell, but it got blocked or whatever. That was because of Ziyech again. Ziyech is actually a creative player. Like people don't
He's
realize.
not a creative player. I saw him against Man
He
City in the semi-final, yeah, against the high line of Man City, and what did he do to us, man? It was called just pinging the ball, scored, sending it to Ruben Diaz, man, gifting it to
Bro, at
Ruben
the end
Diaz.
of the day, yeah, these teams they have output players. That's how.
No, I want Chris to answer that question. though.
Hold on, bro. One second, bro. They got players that have lights out. So for me, Liverpool have Trent, Fernandes, Man United, KDB. Bro, I'm saying Ziyech can offer that output for us, and we need to fit him in that system. Because I'm telling you, he has that creativity in him to offer that output. But we need to alter him into a different formation and see how it goes from there. I think he deserves another chance, bro.
Can I say this, by the way? Let me ask Chris here. What did he do against Man City? What's cool when he just pinging the ball, scored, overhitting every single pass he had?
You talking about
Ziyech-
who scored twice against
Ziyech is
Bro,
good
I'm talking
against
about
the
the
low
semi-final,
block.
bro.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm talking about the semi-final. No, the final, man. Oh, no, Brighton, Leicester,
Wait, Chris.
Ziyech is great against the low blocks. And what did he do against City? He scored a couple of goals against City, right? So he's done stuff against City.
I meant Leicester.
And Ziyech, I don't think Ziyech suits a three at the back system where it's based on counter-attack football. I don't think he's suited for that. Like
Exactly.
We're not counter-attacking, though. We're a possession
We
team.
do counter-attack. No,
We're not a
at
counter-attacking
times, yes,
system.
we do have possession. No, but we do counter-attack as well. We have counter-attack.
Like we do count, but every single team counters this. What's your point, man?
Yeah, I know.
We're not based on
No,
counter-attacking, though. We're a possession team.
We're a possession.
We are.
team.
We
We're a
do.
possession-based
Yes,
team.
I know we do have possession, but there is games where we don't have possession sometimes.
What game
And,
is that?
like-
We always have them in every single game on Super Crucial, yeah?
okay, not
we
the
get them in
the-
possession, though.
Kazi,
The
you see
second
why?
thing-
You see why? He gets so much assists off Werner, right? He
Why's
needs
that?
that type of player. Like, say if Rashford was playing in this team, making those runs.
Yeah.
That's why Bruno Fernandes, majority of his assists goes to like Cavani and Rashford because they're always like playing off that last shoulder and stuff like that. That's where he fits into the team. Like, it's not a guy you play every game. And I feel like sometimes.
So he's in the start then.
He's not. It depends. Like it's.
So he's not starting.
You playing City. You start him. You play like highline teams. You start him. Or you could get runners in behind. You start him. But if you're playing like Brighton and stuff like that, where and the thing is about it, I hate to make this excuse, but like he's still trying. The Eredivisie. What do you call it? The Eredivisie.
Oh, come on.
That's
20 years old. Man.
Shit. But it's still, you're human though. It doesn't matter how old you are. You're human.
It does though. Why are we getting a
Getting
calculator?
adjusted to things is a human quality. And what is he like injured? So it's like he doesn't understand that like he can't be strolling around. You know what I mean? I think sometimes what I do criticize him is his attitude. Sometimes like I feel like he needs to like level it down and not be like. I guess it's his body language, not appear. But that's what makes him him. his swagger and his confidence,
No,
bro.
bro, I have a different outlook towards that, man. If we're talking
Can I
about
say-
body language, then you guys have to get on to Kai Havertz as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I
Yeah, but it's
rebuff
not even
on
body
that.
language though. Have you ever
That's
seen
why I
Kai Havertz
rebuff
walk around
on
the
that
pitch though?
because it's just like
Have you
that's
ever
him,
seen?
bro.
Have you ever seen what's good? First of all, this is my first point. Have you ever seen Kai Havertz here just walk around the pitch when the ball is when we're trying to attack here and the guy just walking by? Second of all, are we really? When have we become a team that are playing this and he's that? Yeah, plays against this sort of team, but has to have this meant for him, man. Like I'm sorry, like he isn't a starter for Chelsea. He's in Chelsea quality. He's a bench player at best. That's what I've said, man.
Here's what
He's
I think
the best
about
I
player,
think
Ziyech.
that's
bro.
a good option. I think
When,
that's a good option.
when Ziyech comes off the bench, in fairness to him, he's played well. He's played better off the bench than when he started. Like against Villa, he looked like he could do something. Against Arsenal, I know it was only like 10 minutes, but he added something that wasn't there when he wasn't on the pitch. So he's not completely
Is
useless.
that Joe or Sammy though, Lewis? Sorry.
Is that what?
Is that Joe or
Nah,
Lewis?
Why can't? So if you guys
Sorry,
when I mention all
wait,
the good
sorry,
games he
Oscar.
had. Wait,
No,
if you guys
no,
wanna
he's
mention,
bro, Kazi, I've been
Bro.
on this very stream on Lewis's channel saying that Ziyech is not good enough. Like he's been
Yeah, you
putting
did
in
say
poor
that.
performance. I've been criticizing him bare, but like
So,
I'm
Oscar,
not through
do you-
with him. I'm not done with
Oscar,
him. Basically,
Oscar, do you think here he can ever be a starter for Chelsea?
yeah,
bro.
Like a consistent
Yeah.
starter?
He's got
I-
the
I-
talent, man. It's within him. It's just
I don't think he does, man. I don't think he's a
Bro,
player.
our
Oscar.
fan base
Yo,
is
Kazi,
whatever,
look,
man.
I know we're
But
caught
But
up
we
in the
gotta have
moment.
good
No,
options on the
I'm not
bench.
saying that was good as a way. Even at what's called for me, it just seemed like in the system that we play right now, the short system, you can't afford to have a player like Good. He's a bit like Bruno Fernandes, where Bruno Fernandes does something 10 times and it works off once. We can't give possession 10 times in a game. It's just our system, our
I
position-based
have
system.
a question.
Sammy, check Insta.
Bro,
I have a
that
question.
system's gonna change next season. That's what we have
How
to
is it?
understand, bro. It's
I
gonna
even-
change.
I disagree. I disagree. I disagree, man.
Even if
I
the
disagree.
system
I disagree, man.
It's not going to be
Kazi,
the same system. I
even
promise.
if the system doesn't change, right, and we get a clinical striker where all it takes is one pass to score.
Yeah.
Do you think
But
that's different?
But he never
Exactly.
has it. Well, first of all, his passes don't come off one time. He never hits one pass, and it
But
comes
I'm
off.
saying,
Because
though,
there's
that
no
one
chemistry
time
with the
he
team.
needs
That
that
makes sense,
striker,
though.
though.
But
The one
second
time
of all,
he needs that
so
striker.
when is it? When do you ever see that though? First of all, that one chance that he does
Aston
create,
Villa game.
that one chance that he does create, yeah. Okay, he does create that one chance. But are you really trying to tell me that we need that in our team and we can go get like someone like a Sancho who can give us that one part? School takes free
Bro,
passes.
you're going to
Guys,
be.
that one chance.
bro, you can't judge the Bundesliga, man. How many of
This
you
is
guys
the
know?
problem,
How many of you guys are aware that Andre Silva outscored Erling Haaland this season in the Bundesliga? How many of you
Bro.
guys are aware of that?
Yeah.
Not many.
I
You
was
know what I'm saying?
aware.
So you can't really take Bundesliga into account like that, man. So if you're saying you want to replace a veteran, an experienced guy, Nakim Ziyech with Jadon Sancho, man's not with it because you don't know what you're gonna get with Sancho. He's a
Bro,
youth, man.
but
At the end of the day,
I know we get better outscored at Sancho than what's called than Ziyech. I know for a fact.
Bro,
Like
this
what's
is
good, and people
the
keep saying what's good, and his style of play as well, man. Like you guys, you have a lot of faith in him. That's your guy. Like I don't really mind, to be fair, man.
It's not faith. It's just being rational.
Kazi, question
bro.
for you,
yeah,
man.
exactly, bro.
Yeah, what's good? What?
Ka-
What you
Ka-
saying?
Kazi, so like I know that like Ziyech, he hasn't looked that great this year. I think that a lot of that is formation. I think a lot of that is how we play. But my question for you is the opportunity cost of taking, a new right winger more important than taking a new clinical striker? Do we give Ziyech another season, see if he comes good, and then we spend that 80 mil on Lukaku, or do we go all in on Sancho?
I'll go for
Because we don't do both.
I'll go for Lukaku, man.
Yeah,
Lukaku for me.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'll go for Lukaku.
Striker first,
Haaland
before
for
the
me.
winger.
Haaland for me.
Like
I'll go for Lukaku.
we
I'll go for
can't
Lukaku.
miss out on the striker. We've just seen it in this
No,
past
We have
game.
to have one.
It's too much.
That
Lukaku.
hottest thing.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
make
don't get a
enough
clinical striker,
chances. We've made the
yeah.
most chances this season. We made
Yeah,
the
me-
second most chances
me-
in the league last
It's
season.
quality of chances.
It's our
man.
conversion rate. That's the clear problem.
It's quality of chances.
But
man.
I do disagree with Cos though. I do think if we did get Sancho, he would light up the Premier League like easy.
We don't know that.
He
Oscar,
would.
man.
He
We
would.
know
He
that,
would,
bro.
man.
The example that you gave is proof. Like you said that Andre Silva has scored more goals than Erling Haaland in the Bundesliga, but we know clear as day who the star is out of those two players. Not to say that Andre Silva is a bad player, but Erling Haaland is a different league. And Sancho, when you watch Sancho play, even for England, he's cold. Like it doesn't
Like he's
matter about
mobile.
the stats.
Like he's mobile.
he's levels. Like he's gonna come to England if he goes to
Bro,
United.
use your eyes.
If he goes
Bro,
to
I hear
Use
what
your
you're
eyes,
saying.
yeah?
Bro, I hear what you're
Use
saying, but
your
it's still a
eyes.
risk in my
There's
opinion,
so
man. I
much
think it's still a risk.
Can I just say this by the way? Can I just say this by the way, guys? About Ziyech and Sancho. If you watch a game of football and you watch how Sancho plays, he's a lot more mobile than what's called Ziyech is. Ziyech is like to take his time on the ball, doesn't like to dribble. He's much more of a guy who gets the ball and creates. Like Sancho, he can take the ball, carry the ball, pass the ball, and shoot a lot better for me. Gets into
All
what's called. I feel like he's a lot more mobile than someone like a Ziyech.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was gonna
yeah,
say,
yeah.
Ziyech can actually shoot. When
Let
have
me
you
say
seen
this.
Ziyech really miss?
Let me say this
Oh.
as well. In the Bundesliga, how many teams do you see sitting deep and not trying to actually play a game of football?
Not many.
That's my point.
It's an open league.
There's certain things that suit certain players, bro. And I'm telling you 110%, Ziyech was signed with deep blocks in mind, and he can literally be one of our good players to break that shit. But the problem we have is the team as a whole. We don't have chemistry up front. It's the same issue we keep seeing up front. So to me, I'm not looking at Ziyech and saying that Ziyech is going to be the only guy to unlock it. I think the team as a whole needs to be structured just a little bit better than what it currently is. The players then need to understand what each player is going to do, because the amount of times I've seen Ziyech make passes or attempt to make passes and players don't make the runs or literally screw it up anyways, I'm tired, because
The amount of times I've seen him scored ever hit a pass. The amount of times I've seen him scored, Ziyech can't deal with a press. Like a right winger can't deal with a press. The amount of times I've seen him too slow.
One sec.
You can't, man. You can't.
Artem as well saying Hakim can have impact on games. He just lacks the intensity. I agree with you on the lacking intensity part, and I feel like that's why everyone questions his body language and the way that he moves around on the pitch. Because if he's off the ball, he's not really showing that much of the work rate. And I feel like, especially in the English game, people will hold him down heavily for that. Because, you know, in England, we're all big passion merchants and we want to see everyone run around the field for 90 minutes.
It's really not the English game. I like people say that, man. Tracking back and pressing, yeah, and counter pressing. Let me just say that, and winning the ball back from a counter press. I'm sorry, that's you can go to Germany, you see that in every single league. Tracking back is not some sort of thing that just comes from England, man. Like Brexit.
No, I'm not saying it's something that just comes from England. It's something that's a lot more heavily criticised if it's not done.
I agree with that. What's called?
Yeah, that's true.
You have to, in a system that that revolves around pressing and counter pressing and tracking back. You need someone like trying to press here trying to press a team with a team of 10 players with 9 men, because he doesn't press that much, man. He chooses when to press in patches, in stages during the game. Trying to press with 9 men to 10 men, it's hard. It's extremely difficult, man. It's like having a red card. It's like almost like having a red card, man. What's good in your team? Trying to press what's good a 10-man team. It's so hard. And I see it's cool, and I feel like I do feel like another right winger could offer more off the ball than Ziyech does.
So what you're telling me now is
that I feel like certain other positions have to be addressed first. Like
I agree that I agree that.
What you're telling me, is you want to get rid of one of our most creative players and our sole creative output in the team just because he can't press.
Artem as well saying Ziyech has created 34 chances this year in 23 games. Pulisic and Kai Havertz have less than that in 27 games each. He wasn't great, but he creates chances. The maddest thing with that stat as well, they've all had long-term injuries throughout the season, so you can't even use the injury argument for any of them. They've all been in and out of the squad for numerous periods of time. So fucking hell, credit to Hakim Ziyech in that case.
Can I answer Kazilla? Can I answer Kazilla?
Go on.
Kazilla, what's called? I'm not saying because he cracks back. I feel like he's an inconsistent player who works well, who has so many weaknesses in terms of he isn't that precision for me. Like I said again, I don't think he's mobile enough to be a right winger. If you see, I don't think he's mobile enough to be that right winger for us. And two, like against high, if you want to go against these big teams, what's called the ones that attack, that press, and leave a high line, I don't see him as that guy. I don't see him as a starter. More for me, I see more if he can be a squad player, come off the bench. I'm fine with that. Kind of saying Pulisic, man. Pulisic is a sub player right now, man. That's what he's looking like, man. That's what he's looking like. That's what, they're just so all inconsistent. Maybe because that's because of the system. Maybe because that's because of the system. But we see next season. But I'm just saying, I don't see this guy starting for us. So
Bro, you know it's
Can I ask you something? Go
on, bro.
Who's our best left side attacking player then for you?
Oh man,
Left side,
now,
right side.
Right now,
The guy,
Right now,
you
it's
already know I don't like, man. You really know what's called.
Right now it's Chilwell or Marcus Alonso, bro. That's
No,
how
left side
reactionary our fan base
attacking,
is.
left forward.
Chilwell, let's go.
Oh,
That's how reactionary our
bro.
fan base is.
Like left
bro,
forward, left inside, left
Bro,
like
do you know what it
attack
is, yeah?
wise.
I'm hearing
Bro,
everybody
hey,
on. Bro,
It
I'm
might be
hearing-
Werner, you know. It might be Werner, you know, guys. It might be
Bro,
Werner.
Beautiful game,
Bro,
mate.
what I'm
It
trying
might
to
be
say,
Werner,
yeah,
blood.
One sec, guys, one at a time.
bro, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you know how reactionary our fan base is, yeah. The thing is, how many times have we seen Christian Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi shifted out to the right hand side, knowing that that's not their ideal optimal position, and then when Christian and Callum put in shit performances game after game because they're not acclimatized.
Whoa.
Okay, Christian.
Whoa,
Not
slow
Callum,
down, buddy.
Not Callum. But okay, either of them put in shit performances game in and game out, and then the fan base is all slating them because they're not used to playing in that position. They have to accommodate certain other players when they could be playing on the left wing and be more optimal
I'm not
and
being rational,
acclimatized to the game. It doesn't make any sense for me.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
I've heard to show say
But-
what's called. Even
but
to show
of course-
I agree.
saying, yeah, that was called. He's a sub. He works best as what's called as a super sub. Like, this is not me just called, just saying what's called. I don't like Pulisic. He just seems like much more of what's called. I feel like even when he comes off the bench, he's a lot better when he starts, man. For the last few games, he started.
I agree with your point just there. Like, players should be being played in their best positions, but if we're playing a system and the system doesn't incorporate your best position, or for some reason or other, Tuchel feels like he wants you to play somewhere else and you're not performing in that other position, what else should we do but say, you know what, you have to sit on the bench now because this other guy that might not be as good as you can perform in that role?
There's two problems I have with it. So I think what we can do as a fan base is not get too reactionary and wait what happens next season. That's my first option. And my second option is that Thomas Tuchel has a history of doing this. He has a history of molding players into different positions. When Paris Saint-Germain, they were linked with a centre back that he wanted, and then he didn't get them, and then the board gave him Danilo Pereira, who's a centre defensive mid. Out of spite, he played him at centre back. So Tuchel has a history of doing this, and I don't really want to see Chris as a right winger going forward.
Yeah, he
So,
can't. He
so I
can't. He's not good in the right wing. I think we can all
But the
agree.
thing is,
dead.
we're now going into a Champions League final, and there's a very high possibility that
That he
Christian
might start.
Pulisic could start right wing. So, like,
The thing is, yeah,
I
one,
understand, bro, it's
like
not
or
up to
not,
you
yeah,
at
like
the end
or
of the
like
day.
or not,
no,
yeah,
I know
like
it's
or
not up
not,
to you. I know
yeah.
it's up to you, but I feel like when our fans are complaining, when like Kazi's making noise or whoever, I don't think it's fair to call it reactionary because they're playing
I agree with that,
multiple games in that position and they're not performing.
But I think that this
Big up
system,
Colin as well, saying get a gunman number 9 and Ziyech delivers for him. I think that's the same for a lot of our attackers, which is why I can't really criticize the chance creation because we're still up there for it, and a lot of the players have been contributing to it. It's just the biggest problem is we don't eat those chances. That's been the problem of the team throughout the entire season. I sound like a broken record saying it, but you bring Romelu Lukaku in, you probably get even more out of all of our attackers in general because they finally have a player that they can feed into the team. So with that in mind, we also can't really criticize our creators right now because none of their chances are being fed and turned into goals. So they can't even rack up assists themselves. So it's kind of
we
making
can't
the
blame
entire attack
so we can't blame them. So we can't blame them for missing like easy chances. So we can't criticize no one.
We blame the players for missing chances, even the creators as well, but we don't blame them for the lack of creativity.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I'll say that right now. But trying to say what's called that we're reactionary. Trying to say what's called reactionary for saying what's called this guy's not a good finisher. You keep linked to multiple players. Like,
no.
One
it is
example of reactionary.
I think it's selling players when you say you want to get rid of a player.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I
That's my
think that's
point.
the reactionary.
Hold on.
One sec. Sam, what were you saying, man?
Why not take this opportunity for this summer to revamp the whole attack? We've all seen in the last 9 months the heartburn, the pain we've seen from Timo, from even Pulisic, from Mount, missing chances, skying shots to Rosette, and just giving us a hard time and not scoring goals. If we had a proper goal scorer like a Lukaku profile, or anybody like a Lukaku, any of the top names that are going around like Lukaku, we bring in a Sancho and we bring in someone like I've been saying in the chat, we bring in a guy like Eden Hazard to come off the bench to kind of give us multiple players that can score us goals. Because let's say if we only bring in a Lukaku this summer with the group of guys that we have now, and Lukaku gets hurt for whatever reason, then what? We're going back to this offside bullshit that we've been dealing with the last 8 months with just Timo Werner or CP or any of these guys missing up chances and us fighting for a top 4 thing. I don't want to go through this again. I want to win the league. I want a revamp to this whole group. You can send Cho back to Dortmund to kind of get a loan move there to bring in a Sancho, and
I don't know why
need
people
a
are here.
proper gunner.
I don't know why people trying to what's called
Question for
Cho should go on loan when people like Pulisic and Ziyech, who are a lot older than him, have got a lot more game time, have failed to deliver. Like Cho's been played as a right wing back, a left wing back,
We
called
can
as an
sell him.
inside
That's
forward.
not an issue
I'm
with
keeping.
Ziyech, because I don't think he fits into this
I agree that, man.
model and playing.
I agree that. I'm trying to say doesn't fit our style of play.
That's fine, but what I want is proper signings this summer, not just one main highlighted striker like Haaland, Lewandowski, Kane potentially, or even Lukaku. I want 3 or 4 guys that can bag us goals and kind of have this Chelsea team look like the City team where you have multiple guys banging in goals. Our highest goal scorer this season is Jorginho, like we all know, and that's 7 penalties. That's embarrassing, and I don't want another 9 months of that.
So, bro, you want to throw more money at the problem?
If we bring in new players, though, that allow us to be flexible in our formation and with our lineups, I think that those few players, so let's say Lukaku, and for the sake of argument, let's say Tukamini at holding midfield. Those changes allow us to do things to our formation that allow us to bring on more attacking players. They allow us to play these positions that we've all acknowledged are playing out of position right now in their preferred positions. And all that's going to do is take the weight off the shoulders of a person like Werner to not need to bag goals anymore because Lukaku's doing it. He's got a big brother now, who can look out for him. And now you can have this double pivot mixed up. We don't have to play 3 in the back, and we can bomb on a little bit more. So I think that bringing in the key signings, not replacing all of our front 3, but bringing in key signings is going to give us that flexibility, and it's going to actually have an impact on the rest of the squad.
Big up Artem as well, saying craziest stat, Mason Mount himself has 87 chances created. That's more than Havertz, Pulisic, and Werner combined. Yeah, Mason Mount the second most chances in the league behind Bruno Fernandes, if I'm correct, which is an even more mad stat in itself. Yeah, I know you say he's going to pop up in the chat in like 2 minutes, talking about minerals and all that.
I don't know,
but again, most of these chances haven't been fed because the strikers have just been poor, or whoever's been on the end of it has been dead.
Have just been poor, man.
That's why we need the Lukaku. If anything, we need a striker more than a creator for this exact reason.
But why not get both? Because if you put all your eggs in one basket and something happens to Lukaku...
For me, our quality of chances needs to be questioned as well, man. I don't think people talk about squad, about quality of chances, man. Like, I get what's good, we create the most chances.
Lukaku and a Danny Ings and just have 2 solid goal-scoring options at the striker position in the event anything can happen.
That's
and rotate.
Man.
I want to win multiple trophies next year, and I don't want to change this formation. I would love to keep this formation because since January,
I disagree, man.
We've been really good in not leaking in goals. Mendy has been world class. To me, the best keeper in the world. And I might be the minority here by saying it, but he'll make 1 or 2 mistakes. Well, all keepers make 1 or 2 mistakes. But if we didn't have him to kind of give the whole back line or the back 3 confidence, we see what heartache.
Relax, man.
Brought to us.
The best keeper in the world is a massive stretch, man. Like I disagree, bro. Next season, I want to go to back 4 and see how, let's say, a Werner does with a striker next to him. Even though I believe, man, it ain't gonna work, man, because the guy just has problems. Missing 1v1s has nothing to do with a striker next to you. But let's just see what's called, see how he is next to another striker.
A lot of strikers do miss 1-on-1s as well.
Like not to the level of Werner.
It's hard to score.
Like it's hard to score 1v1.
I seen for United side, Rashford, Martial.
Yeah, but I've seen Rashford score some of the best goals this season, man. I've seen Rashford scored like one is
right.
average. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
It's inconsistent. I will say that because in Leipzig he missed a lot of chances there too.
Can you tell me what's his best goal this season?
Who, Werner's? Easily that'd be probably Southampton's.
Those goals was probably his best performance this season. Best performance this season. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, bro. He got 2 goals and assists. That was it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, and it was good. Yeah. No. I disagree.
Oh, he missed.
Real Madrid goal is his best goal.
Newcastle, he missed like 2
We didn't even win that game. We didn't even win that game. That pisses me off.
That was a Kepa masterclass right there. That day, that 3-3 Southampton, that 3-5 Southampton, it was a Kepa masterclass at its finest.
No, that was like Kai Havertz being put in centre mid as well. What kind of fuck?
No. It was a Kepa masterclass, man. That second goal, that we considered against 3-3 Southampton, man. Come on, man, behave. What is that, man?
Yeah.
Who's in their garden, man?
Even my guy Zuma made a mistake that game. Kai Havertz put a centre mid, and then maybe Park Kepa too, of course.
That was a low point.
For me, I
Like-
think we need to get rid of this three at the back, man. It's a short-term fix. We know
Yeah,
this.
I agree. I agree.
We
I
just need
agree with
options.
Chris right there, bro. I agree with you right there, bro.
His history tells you it's a short-term fix. What happened with Antonio Conte's second season? He got found out, man.
He
At
got
the end of
found
the
out,
day,
bro. The three at the
everyone
back here
finds
gets found out
the
so
position
easily, man. He
So
gets
I
found
think
out, bro.
I think we're gonna switch to either a 4-3-3 because that's what we played at PSG, or 4-3-3. Ideally, for me, I'd go for a 4-3-3 because if you play a 4-2-2, then it puts a lot of stress and a lot of calamity on the pivot because there's a whole open space because of
Yeah.
the two strikers up top. So for me, if we go with a 4-3-3, then we're good, in my opinion.
I think this back three is very different than Conte's back three because Conte was a defensive-minded coach, where Tuchel is a attacking, progressive-minded coach. This back three that we're playing looks totally different from the season we even won the league with Conte because he gets the ball and he creates
Disagree.
multiple chances and moves forward and likes to attack. The Conte team was one of the teams where we just counter-attack. We just did it really well with Diego and Hazard and Willian and those guys.
Because
think
we
I-
create
I-
chances. And we had a player what's called doing what's called a break who could find out a pass, pick up passes.
Our problem
I
is,
feel like-
yeah. Go on,
Yeah,
bro,
go on,
go on.
go on. No, go on, bro. Go on, bro.
Our problem is, yeah, I think that everyone knows that we don't create as much chances, and it's a drag. We just keep possession for the sake of keeping possession. And at the end of the day, when you're telling me that this formation is not as defensive as we think, the reason why Mason Mount is so flexible and he's a key in his team is because on transition and on defense, he comes into the midfield and we make a free in the midfield with two up top,
Yep.
which makes it very, very hard to
Agree.
break down. So at the end of the day, when you're telling me it's not really defensive, I completely disagree because it's really defensive because teams can't really break us down and we hit them on the
Three
break,
centre
especially
backs, bro.
the teams that we play against are very good. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the
They are
day,
flawless,
this
Mike.
is hindering our chance creation. And you know the best teams in the world, like we've seen Man City, Liverpool, Barcelona back in the day, they use the 4-3-3 because it creates the most chances.
And the attacks as well, man. Like it's good. And when you score in the 4-3-3 when you keep possession, we can still be good defensively. What's called in another system because we usually keep possession so well, man. Like our ability to keep possession must be one of the best in the world. Actually, no, it is one of the best in the world.
Yeah,
But what's
exactly.
called like what's called. Even Pep said it himself, man. The best type of defense is keeping the ball, and we can still do that in another system, though, can't we? Like
Exactly.
keep a possession-based
As
system.
long as we have a
So-
six. That's
Yeah.
destroyer six.
Yeah, 100.
That's why we need to go and get that as well as a striker. Winger
Yeah.
could be like a third choice, to be honest.
Declan Rice.
Oh, hell no. Tuchel Manning. Colin's saying Tuchel played a 4-4-2 at PSG. Just saying.
Or
But he's played a string of different formations. Like, I'm not worried about what we can and can't do because really and truly the sky's the limit with Thomas Tuchel. We could play 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-2-2-2. You play 5 at the back, as we've already seen. There's plenty of options for us under him.
4-3-3.
We just need enough profiles that we can play and be flexible because I think that's what Tuchel wants too. But we ain't going to see that until we get a destroyer DM because if we play a 4-3-3, our only DM is Jorginho. And that's just not enough depth in general. And that's not only one profile of DM.
defensively.
And you know, to add to that, yeah, everyone's talking about the three at the back and how it's good defensively. We know this is a short-term fix because we know that Thomas Tuchel is an attacking coach.
Yeah,
He's
facts,
not a defensive
man.
coach.
Facts, bro.
He's not a defensive coach. At the end of the day, this all seems to me and all makes sense that we're going to move to a more progressive, more free-flowing style of play next season. So at the end of the day, if we're thinking the three at the back's a solution, it's not a solution, my friend. It's a short-term fix.
Brother, I
But we
agree
keep
with
it in the
you, man.
pocket.
It's really nothing but facts.
Keep that back three in the pocket though for tournaments.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like having multiple formations so we can leverage that for any opponent that we face. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I want to get these signings, but I want the best in every position. If it's Rice,
And that's why
Yeah, that's true.
that's why I think next season, next season he's gonna be scored. He's gonna be given a lot more time. That's I think there's a plan for like Cho and the youngers, man. I don't think it's cool. Right now he's trying to get results. That's why he's using his experienced players right now.
I think if you add more,
Like I feel like he's gonna give more time to like someone like Cho, man.
it's going to get players better. It's going to get players like Pulisic better. It's going to get players, even Timo Werner, I'm hoping he gets better. But it's either you perform on the pitch or you don't. Right now, we're fitting him in even when he's bad, even though he's having bad form and missing chances, is because he's the best of what we have. But if we bring in better players in his position, it's going to make him either, bust or he's going to be a lot better and he's going to be the guy that we thought he was.
Yeah, I agree with that. He has to improve for next season, or he probably out the window.
Mate,
And
It's true for a couple of our players.
The thing is, I don't understand how we spent 200 million on attack and still this bad. Like, I don't know how. Like,
I think
don't know.
we're a bit worse at attacking now because we do play like a 5 at the back and we've got less midfielders
No, I
to help.
disagree, man. I disagree.
You don't think?
It had nothing to do with 5 at the back, man.
I can't lie,
Yeah, missing chances. Like, we have missed a few, and it's shocking. Kai Havertz misses, Werner misses, Pulisic misses. Hudson-Odoi will miss as well when he does shoot. He has done a couple of times. He hasn't done it much because he didn't really play. Who else has missed for us? Mason Mount's missed a couple. They all miss.
Everyone's out of
A
form
lot of them.
currently.
Big up Kazim as well, saying you can't blame Ziyech for the terrible conversion rate this season. The point is this team lack mentality and chemistry to play together. Only in the final third. Like, our final third play is absolutely ridiculous. But in the midfield, we are solid, and defensively, we're good too. Don't take the Villa game as possible, because the Villa game, we just had a rusty Kovacic in a two-man midfield, and that was going to create problems regardless.
We've lost 3 of our last 4 games, man. It's more about
appreciate it again, Yusuf.
I might sound crazy, but we didn't play that bad against Villa either.
Nah, I disagree.
Only in the final third and in the midfield for me.
Yeah. That's just to add to your point, because you said the final third was terrible. That's what it was.
Yeah. Go back and watch the Crystal Palace game and see how we moved the ball in that game, and then look at how we moved the ball in the Aston Villa game, and you will cry yourself to sleep.
That first half against Crystal Palace. Some
of the best football.
Beautiful.
Let's not even talk about it. Let's not even talk about it.
Nah, don't even try.
I'm being dead serious. Go and watch the heat map for where the ball was in that game. It was all down the right hand side, man.
Mate, are you forgetting who was on the right hand side as well?
Who, Mount?
Yes.
Yeah, Mount and Hudson-Odoi link up well.
Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Havertz coming off the right hand side as well. But in the middle of the park,
Mount was on the right against Villa
too.
For me, one of the best games we played this season, was Everton.
Hudson-Odoi.
That, bro. Hudson-Odoi.
You don't think I have an agenda, but it's not me. You guys are saying the best game. You happen to be playing. It's not me with an agenda.
He makes the team tick. What can you say, man?
No, guys, I don't know about you lot, but Aspilicueta playing on that wing back position when we have Reece James tucked into that centre back position, it's killing me, bro. If I see that in the final, bro, I'm upset. I'm not gonna lie to you lot.
I'm not gonna be. Oh, it's a tricky one because I think I would like to see Christian play, but then what's happened? Christian is a bit rusty, and he can be a bit rusty for it.
I want Hudson-Odoi to play that position, bro. I generally think we'll cause so much more problems.
I like Hudson-Odoi, but
Champions League final.
Rusty.
Like in any other, I would have preferred that against Aston Villa, but in this City game, I just feel like we have to be on our A game defensively. Our pressing and tracking of the ball has to be 100%, and I think we need Aspi. Crazy as it sounds.
Bro,
He has to start.
Yeah, go on.
Bro, call me Mourinho son or whatever. Call me Mr. Practical or whatever. But for me, I think Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante should start against Man City in the final.
I agree.
Disagree, man.
We need to be as hard to break down, man. Honestly, we need to knit them.
You want a 3-5-2 midfield? 3-5-2 formation. I could run with that.
Now we played it anyway with Mount in there when we played
exactly
on the defensive phase. So at the end of the day,
who's up top? You're telling me that you trust Kai Havertz and Werner by themselves up top?
Nah, Mason, that's the
case. Why not?
So it's Mason and up front.
Yeah, but Mason and Werner.
Yeah, probably Mason and Werner.
No. Havertz and Werner have to start. Havertz and Werner on top, Mason Mount in the 10.
I can't lie, Kazi. If you want to argue this, we can argue this 2 days before the match,
Nah, man. Werner and Mason Mount and Werner up top there themselves.
Kazi, don't be childish, please. We got like 4 days away before the Champions League final, and the last thing that we are arguing about the lineup. Literally, it's pointless though, because regardless of Saturday.
But Fata, would you prefer we argue about transfers that are like?
All right, we're going to argue about something anyway.
We may as well talk about the lineup. I mean, it's our biggest.
We're going to talk about Willian.
It's all about
about Willian.
There's nothing to talk about, bro.
I can't wait to have Willian back at Chelsea. He's a proper Chelsea. I want him back at the club.
I'm saving Werner argument for Thursday, that's for sure.
Bro, forget Willian.
Again, saying
We need Havertz.
Chris told me none of that shit, bro.
One sec. Youssef saying 4-2-2, Tukameni and Kante really allows us to play that formation without putting pressure on the midfield. Tukameni's also got a really good range of pass as well, so he'd be a very good shout for
That
us.
box of nuggets from the Uber Eats League, man. We don't need that guy, man.
That's
Get me right.
That's savage.
Forget that Uber
Come
Eats,
on,
man.
man.
Forget that Uber Eats guy, man.
Bro,
Uber Eats League, bro.
Uber Eats guy, that's the same league we got Eden Hazard and Drogba from.
Henri came from that league, bro.
We also got Bakayoko from there.
Yeah, but he wasn't good at Uber Eats.
Yeah,
Uber Eats
Bakayoko is a howler, but
Has you watched this man play though?
Bakayoko was poor scouting
I've
though.
watched him
Every
play,
Monaco fan was saying, well, how come they're not going for Fabinho instead? But we went for Bakayoko and just took the L. That's on us.
Oh, man, I mean, that Watford game. That
I'm
Watford
not-
game, yeah, exposed this guy so badly, man, for the fraud that he was.
For me, that league, yeah.
What the game? It was like another 3 months of football before.
Did any
then
of
that
you
we
get?
closed him.
Did any of you
Nah.
get
Yeah.
hyped up for
I still get
Bakayoko then?
Yo,
For-
guys,
bro, for me, yeah, Liga. If we're gonna scout, I think we should mostly scout in Liga compared to the Bundesliga, man. Especially for the
Fact, man.
talent,
They're
man.
broke.
I think, for me,
I'm sick and tired of
the harder league.
running behind the merchants, man.
Liga's broke though. We can just rob them basically.
Exactly. And there's
Yeah,
no
that's what I'm
hidden gems in
saying
there,
as
man.
well. If we're looking that much for a big option up front, fucking hell, Mbappe is on 1 year left on his deal. We could really try and test him if we had the balls about it.
Did you guys see about Serie A getting the influx of cash from some equity firm like Oak Tree?
It was
Milan.
280 mil.
Yeah, but it's to pay off what's called to pay off their debts, not what's called to spend, invest.
I thought that was only
Right, but that's the same thing, right? Like
No, it's not.
you spend the money that you would spend to pay off debts on signing new players, right? And then you just kind of move that. I don't know. I just think it puts them in a better financial position. Yeah.
I disagree with Squad. I feel like what's called it's gonna pay off the debts here, but won't have they still want to what's called have pay cuts, you know? They're still asking for. That's the whole reason what's called why the links with Lukaku are happening, man. Because they asked him if he wants if we would like a pay cut, and he said no. But the whole team said no.
Imagine.
So
Yeah,
they're going
fair.
back to
Man wins you the Bitcoin game. Oh, yeah, do you want to pick up, bro? That's
But
bad.
nah, bro. He's like no.
That's actually bad, bro. That's the craziest thing, bro.
Nah, bro, man. You can't ask him for a pay for squad for hey.
What?
My bad. I'm playing FIFA. My bad.
What happened to you?
I heard the controller.
I'm playing FIFA. My bad, guys. I'm playing
I'm
FIFA.
feeling
My
big attack, bro.
Oh, okay.
bad.
Fucking
Come
hell.
on, come
Just
on.
getting mugged on the street. Oh yeah, but I really do think that's going to change stuff for Inter, though. I mean, I know, like, you know, we can see how it pans out, but at least it's going to make them hold out for more money from like Sant or Lukaku or any of their top, you know, money raisers.
The thing with Inter as well is that they've got a lot of gems, man. Even if they lose players, they are going to make quite a lot of money from just sales. So it's about how they strengthen their team in the correct manner. Because when you look at like some of the players that they've signed, they're going to sell maybe twice, maybe 3 times the price that they signed them for. And I think that in itself already puts them in a good place. They've now won the Serie A, but also they're now in the Champions League, which is massive to them. It'll be very interesting to see like how they go about things going forward, because I think they've got the right manager for themselves. Again, it's the rumor is he's about to leave. Is that still happening or not?
A what?
Conte?
Is he about to leave? Because apparently that was the rumor I remember hearing.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hello, as well,
delayed
saying
his meeting
Tukameni,
with their
Kante, 666, beast mode. I'm going Tukameni or I'm going
Oh my
Basuma.
God, I've missed
I'm
the
going
penalty.
Zakaria.
No,
I'm
no,
going
no.
anyone before I go and ship 80 million for Declan Rice. That's a fact, so there's no way I'm doing that.
80 million.
Nah,
That's
man,
as well,
80
so
million
anything
for
that
rice,
worth
yeah. Mate, the best rice of pasta, man, though. Come on, guys.
That's
Nah, but the thing
ridiculous.
is with Declan, yeah, I think everyone would have taken Declan Rice.
Oh my
It's just
God,
the
I've
money,
missed
man.
2.
The
The
problem.
money's mad,
Just
yeah.
the money's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's we all like him, but 80 million? Nah.
Yeah, 80 million is a bit of a fleece.
80
man.
million, he ain't worth that.
It
Like,
was
half
the same thing with
that,
Chilwell, innit? Chilwell was quoted at 80 million at the beginning. We ended up getting him for 50. So if we can do the same here, it's not a bad shout.
But I don't know, man. For me, something saying in my head, something saying if we're paying 50 million for Chilwell, then there's no reason why we shouldn't pay a lot for Declan Rice. Do you understand what I'm
No,
saying?
but that's
We're
the
using
thing.
same
We've
premise.
already paid too much for a left back. Let's not do the same thing for a DM with even more money.
Yeah, nah.
I
it
just
was-
like
that
Marina.
much, left back.
Just lock Marina in with their negotiator. We'll get him for like 25.
Yeah, man. If we can push for Declan Rice, then we should get him at the end of the day. for
Give
me,
Barkley in there.
If we
dude.
can get him for 60 million, that's a done deal. We need his profile. We need someone with his physique. We're too small in the middle. We're too weak in the
Agreed.
middle.
Bro, it's
Yeah,
not even
We need a
that.
little
I mean,
muscle.
We have what's called Lewis's grandma there. What's it called? Just trying to what's called defender midfield. That's what we have.
so,
What was that?
so that's
We have
great.
Lewis's grandma right there, man. Because you see how Lewis loves Jorginho, man. Always defending him every now and then, man. Like,
Who
don't
are you
talk bad
talking
about
about?
my grandma. Don't talk bad about my grandma. You,
Wait.
Lewis, man.
No, who
Right,
are we
you defend-
referencing as my grandma?
Bro, Jorginho, man. That's you,
Oh, for
man. Who else,
fuck's
man?
sake, man. I can't be
That's what
arsed.
we have, bro. In the midfield,
nah,
man.
you know, my problem with Jorginho is that it's not really that it's sticky because he just fits the profile that we don't have in the club.
Yeah.
But genuinely,
Yeah.
could have been any other player. If Gilmore was a DM, that would be the exact position. And then it'd be the perfect replacement of for me. Yeah,
Nah,
we
man.
just need to tailor Gilmore in order to take over Jorginho. And if we can do
Facts,
that
man.
sooner or later, then that's the best
Billy
possible solution. for me, man.
Billy Gilmore is a special talent, man. I'm telling you guys right
Speaking
now.
like true,
Still
speaking
Hey!
of true poetry,
Blood.
man.
He's a
Speaking of
Literal-
true
Literal-
poetry, man.
bro.
I think we
I've
can
been
all
so
agree
cold.
with size of
I've
the
been saying this, bro. The
midfield.
guy.
Money!
Someone slate.
That sounds so sus,
Do
Fato,
it
man.
now.
That doesn't sound like a money, bro. That sound like
Always
like
You
coming
said-
at the right time.
sound like
man.
a porn
You
star.
said-
Money!
One sec. Youssef saying would love to see us go for Ndidi. We need a presence in midfield. It's our second weakest area after strike. Agree with Declan Rice point. Prioritize striker first. I don't see us getting Ndidi though. That's why I'd rather we go for a
Nah.
Tukameni,
I want Ndidi,
Zakaria,
bro.
Basuma if we can. 'Cause I just don't see that one
said
running.
Rice. Did I not? I said to you lot, we should go and get Rice. And
No,
everyone
Rice.
comes
We ain't getting Rice though. He costs £80 million. He ain't
Build
worth
this
that.
Brexit FC, man. Get Declan Rice.
Yeah,
If we
get
can
Declan
lower
Rice,
Lukaku's-
bro. Bring him to the bridge.
Just believe
Bring
in
me
the
Rice.
reason.
I've
Bring
been
that
saying this like
backbone, bro. Bring that
for
backbone. We
months.
need
If
it.
we can
Bring her-
lower it down to like 50 million, take it. If we can't lower it down to that, then
Bro, my
no
thing
point.
with
Bring
Declan
home
Rice
Trevor
is,
Chalobah, man.
bro. My thing with Declan Rice is a lot of our fan base likes to undermine and not talk about the mental aspect of being a footballer. And for me, when you see Declan Rice, he's all got it inside there. He's got
He's
everything
vocal,
that
bro.
you need
He's
inside there,
vocal. He's
man.
a leader, bro.
He's a leader, bro. He captain West Ham at how old? 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? So if players can see
Yeah.
that on the
He's
pitch,
got
gonna
a
bring
lit
the team up.
mentality like Mount. Yes, he generally he's got
Mate.
minerals.
Another
minerals,
one is he's Brexit. What's it called?
It's not about Brexit. It's about for England. Yeah, if you look at England's backbone, you got Kane, Mount, Rice, Maguire. That's your kind of general backbone. Mixing a bit of Henderson,
Hendo,
Then that's going to be the pattern.
Chilwell?
What about Rashford? What about Rashford, man?
Rashford
Feeds kids, man. That guy's just good. He's also a
Listen,
spine, bro. Put some respect on the Mac, man.
Rashford is a wonderful player, but because we got an idiot like Southgate, he likes to play Sterling instead.
Oh mate, come on, man. Behave.
You know what I'm saying?
What's wrong with Sterling?
Sterling, he's not.
He's not
that
Rashford.
guy, bro. He's not Rashford, bro. I'll take
He's
Rashford
only
over
good
Sterling
in
any day of
Pep's
the week.
system for me. I think he's just a very good player in
Back
Pep's
post
system.
tapping.
he's only good under Arteta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Arteta. Yeah, he's only good on Arteta.
Oh right, yeah. Good shout. Good shout.
They're back
If we
post
can
tapping,
negotiate
bro.
a good deal for Rice and
Kinda
bring in
true,
a
though.
quality striker, I think we can fight for the title. If we bring in multiple attackers that can bang goals, then we should win multiple trophies.
Declan Rice,
It should
mate,
be a
right
high
there.
Bro, but the thing is with Declan wants to play for the club, man.
He
You know
does.
how
He
much
wants to
He
play.
loves the
He wants to
club.
be here.
Exactly.
Do you know what, Kazilia?
So does
Last
Trevor
time
Chalobah.
I come on, when was it, Lewis? Like three
Robert
streams
Chelsea.
ago, and
Yeah.
and it was like it doesn't matter that he's grown up through the academy, that he knows the club. It doesn't matter that he knows the players and he's proper Chelsea. Like, of course that matters. That's all the DNA you want. You want players that are not coming just for the money and to stay for a short visit.
true.
You want players that are there that want to be there for a good 8 years of their career and win
Proper
and
Chelsea.
generally win stuff. Yeah,
Proper Chelsea.
proper Chelsea. But at
Chelsea.
the same time, like they'll play. He plays for West Ham and he gives West Ham his all. You know what I mean? Even though he's proper Chelsea deep down,
Yeah.
he still gives his all on the pitch for the club he's playing for, and I like that mentality.
Exactly, bro. I definitely agree.
I would love-
You know what it is, yeah? You know how many times we talk about the mentality in the squad, bottling finals, all of this and all of that. For me, it comes from the senior players. When you see senior players make mistakes here and there and be lackadaisical and whatnot, Declan Rice is not going to give you that, bro. You're going to get 150% out of this guy, bro. You're going to see Mason Mount press for 95 minutes. That's what you're going to see. So at the end of the day, Declan Rice for me, he brings everything to the team. Mentality, physicality.
He will relieve Mason Mount of not so much the press and defensive duties, but some of them, so that it allows him to actually attack, focus on his offensive game. But you know what? Yeah, it's not even that. It's. I just want to make a little statement here. Now we've all seen the England lineup. Well, the chosen squad by Southgate, the potential one anyway. Yeah. Well, isn't it interesting that everyone likes to compare Foden, Maddison, Grealish, and all these players to Mount? When you look at their categories of where they are, now they're all in the offensive department. And where's Mason Mount? Mason Mount is under the midfielders because he's a midfielder. And when he plays for us in the front line, in the front three, he's playing as a midfielder in that position. So don't forget that. Just bear that in mind, that he's doing the offensive job and he's doing a midfielder's job.
So, John, are you saying he should be dropped for an attacker?
No. What I'm saying to you is that his actual position is as a midfielder, as a central midfielder for me.
I agree.
But Tuchel's playing him in the front three because of obviously what the pivot. So it's credit to Mount that he can offer his midfielding qualities when needed, but also offer his offensive qualities when he's in the front three position. So it's like he's so good that he can do that. And if you put Foden or Grealish or Maddison in that actual central midfield position, I don't think that they'll be able to do what Mount does. And that's why Mount, for me, and I've always said it, is the first name on a team sheet for England and for Chelsea.
Because Gareth Southgate is a mongrel. That's why, man.
No,
let's be honest, man. If Gareth Southgate picks you, it's not an achievement, man. I'm sorry, I'm not having that, man. If Gareth Southgate picks you, it's not an achievement. I don't care what you say.
Like, it counts against you.
Whoever
it counts against you, bro. It's a minus. It's a minus.
He'll pick Mount. It's just it's the go-to. He's too good. He offers you too much.
Very versatile.
Johnny,
versatile.
Can I ask you? Yeah. Is this one of your sprinklers on that, or is it?
This is just a golden mineral sprinkler because it's light-hearted.
I wondered what that moisture was.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have moisture here. We just have hard rocks, man. Just hard rocks. But what I say is if Mount doesn't turn up in the final, we're all going to suffer. That's what's going to happen.
I agree.
So what do you mean by suffer?
As in we won't win.
He means get packed up.
Pain.
We won't win. He's our
Man will turn up, Johnny.
I know he will. I'll be honest. I was talking to my United mate, and he loves Mount. He said I'll take Mount in a heartbeat.
Would you lot be against Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho playing together?
Who
in a midfield three? Kante, Jorginho, and Kovacic playing in the midfield
No,
I don't want that in the final. No way.
I'm right.
No experimentation, mate. We're not scientists.
It's not experimentation. We played it last season under Lampard, though, man.
One
of the games.
Tuchel hasn't done it. If he hasn't done it, I don't want him doing it in the final.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to stick to what he knows best. He knows the squad. He should know the squad enough by now, all right? Especially in the Champions League stages of what works and what doesn't work, and what works with City. He's played City enough to know. So. Whether he's going to expect, with City, you're going to expect De Bruyne, you're going to expect Gundogan, you're going to expect, or Aguero's not going to play, so you're going to expect Jesus, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez. All these players are going to play. He's going to play all four, and he's going to have them all interchanging up front. False nine, they're all going to be switching. You'll have Jesus on the right wing, Mahrez chipping in the middle. That's how it's going to be. I guarantee it. And then he'll have Rodri and Fernandinho, and then he's going to have his Diaz and Stones. That's the team he's going to pick. I think it's a no-brainer. So Tuchel must know that that's the team that he's going to pick. That's his best 11 for Pep.
For me, there's two that. Oh, go on, bro. Sorry.
So I think if he does go, even if he tinkers a few positions here and there, Tuchel's got the basic foundation of what.
I don't I don't want.
So,
if I see
in that
playing right wing.
Hold on. In that respect, that will determine. I think Tuchel knows who he's going to play in his lineup. He's going to use the same formation. I don't think he'll change the formation, and it's down to just who turns up. What's that?
Let's hear not your preferred starting lineup, but who you think's going to start.
I think he's going to. What I would prefer. So I'd have Rudiger, Thiago Silva. What I would want Christensen, and then I'll probably play. Sorry, Azpilicueta. I don't think Christensen is going to play him. I don't think he will.
I would play Christensen. I
just don't think he will.
Too.
I don't think he will, guys. Let's go with Christensen, and then he's going to play Aspi right wing back. So that means you're dropping Odoi and you're dropping James, and then in the pivot, I'm going to have Kante and Jorginho, and then maybe bring on Kovacic later on, and then in the front three, I'm going to have. Oh, sorry, the left wing back. It's got to be Chilwell, and then you've got up front. I'm going to go. It's really tough, man. Definitely Mount, obviously. Yep.
I'll go for Mount, Havertz, and Ziyech.
I'm stuck because I think Werner should play, but it's whether he plays on the left or the middle. And if he plays in the middle, that means he's got to go with Pulisic. If he plays Werner on the left, then you're playing a Havertz. So I'd like to see Havertz. I think.
Yeah. Same.
But saying that, when he played City twice, he never played Havertz, did he?
Yeah,
so that's
true.
what makes me think he might.
But both games,
but
both games he played Ziyech as well, though.
Yeah,
so
that's
I think
true. But so if he plays Ziyech, that means you could have Werner in the middle, Mount on the left with Chilwell.
That's
which makes sense.
Ziyech,
and then you've got Ziyech on the right. But then on the right, he prefers Reece James, Ziyech. So you'd have Reece James as right wing back, and then that means I would have to either play Aspi or Christensen right centre back. And he's probably going to pick Aspi, so that means Christensen misses out. That's potentially what could happen as well. But then
I think that's most realistic.
Pep might expect that though. We don't want him to expect
something. I think we need to play a strong player on the right hand side, whoever it is, because they're going to play either Zinchenko or like who's their other left back option?
Zinchenko or Mendy.
They'll play Zinchenko.
Yeah,
Zinchenko.
And the weak link.
They're not playing Mendy.
I think Zinchenko is bad defensively. I don't think it's that good in defense.
That's what I'm saying. So
he's bags of pace.
He's pace like coming at us, but running back. I think I remember when we played them at Stamford Bridge. We got absolutely battered, but his side was the only side we had an option.
Now, but for me, was it when
but that's because what we did was spam crosses from the right hand side. That was our tactics at the time.
When you're analyzing,
I think we have to exploit him, because they don't have many weaknesses, but I think that is one.
When you're analyzing,
Lewis, do you think he will play at AC? Like generally, do you think even though he's had no run up, he'll play him?
I don't see it.
I'm not too sure, because if it's at right centre back, I don't back it, and I want Christensen to start if that's the case. Right wing back, I would be there for Reece James to start, but it's a debate over whether you pick Reece James or you pick Azpilicueta. So I'm not really too sure still.
I just don't want a Reece.
I pick Christensen there over Reece
as a right centre back. I don't want James as a right centre back.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
I think
Azpilicueta has to start.
Yeah, I think Reece as a right.
And Salah might play left back too
to match their pace. You see,
what is this, FIFA?
I think that's happened.
It's happened numerous times this season.
Because they don't play traditional left back. They play inverted fullbacks. So they play them in the centre midfield. So I think
exactly.
That's the PVT you're talking about.
The pivots can go more forward.
Can I just make a point? Go on.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think Kyle Walker's going to start because we haven't seen Kyle Walker play against Timo Werner, and Timo Werner played against City. So I think just to nullify Werner's threat going up top, they're going to play Kyle Walker as well.
I've just thought of something. When we've played City twice, he's never played the false nine, and I think he's going to play the false nine with KDB.
Yeah, so KDB will play false nine.
Yeah, so in that case, if I'm Tuchel, I would match that and then play Havertz as our false nine.
Yeah,
because when you play a false nine, their centre backs, like our centre backs, are going to be. There's going to be so much movement that it's not. They're not going to have like that one striker.
And that's why I play Ziyech. And that's what plays Ziyech to make that final pass because.
So what you're playing Ziyech with Havertz and Mount.
With Ziyech with Havertz and Werner.
No, you can't drop Mount then. You can't.
No, I'm not dropping Mount.
Yeah, so that way you'd have to drop Mount if that's the case.
No. I'd play in the midfield 3 and I put Ziyech.
He won't do that.
You play a back 4.
He's going to play he's not going to do that. He won't change his formation. I'll be shocked if he change. He's not done it all
He's not
season.
changing formation. It's a 3-5-2 though, with midfield 3 and the front 2 with Ziyech.
But that's what we are without the ball. We play Mount drops into a midfield 3. We have Werner and Havertz as the 2 lone strikers, and then
that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially against Man City in the FA Cup, Mount was way more in the midfield than he was in the attack.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if you're doing that, then, but you said you're picking Ziyech, Havertz, and Werner. So you can't do if Mount's not in that side, you can't do that. Who's going to drop in? You can't do that.
I'd drop.
So you'd have to drop Ziyech for me then.
Yeah, but like, who's going to make that final pass though, man?
Well, you've got Havertz that can drop in deep and Mount that drops in deep. If you want to play that kind of game, you're inviting City onto you, then Ziyech is going to have to play with Havertz. But how often have we seen that? We haven't.
Nah, it's because I wouldn't play that because of lack of pace.
You'd have to play with Werner.
Yeah.
So that means Havertz will drop out. So
No, I don't
Ziyech,
think
Mount and Werner.
I think his line is going to be unpredictable, man, because like those first 2 games are different from the Champions League final, and the Pep Guardiola's approach is going to be very different as well because he never played in the first match.
Either.
Pulisic, people love him.
I know he hasn't performed, but like recently, the last 2 games he's not performed, but the guy might just turn up on this stage and
I've been saying
it'd be so dangerous.
I've been saying that he should.
But he doesn't start, Johnny.
Yeah, I don't see either team doing anything crazy out of their norms. To be honest with you, like I think.
But what's out of our norm? Because we know what's out of Pep's norm because we know.
Yeah, but our
norm, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you who are apart from our back line. I mean, we can just about predict our back line. We can never get the pivot right, and we can never
pivot unless we go free in midfield. It's easy to predict what the pivot's going to be.
It's either Kante or Jorginho Kante.
Yeah, but Lewis, you say we can pick the pivot right, but how many times have we picked Jorginho or Kovacic right, and then he's put Kante in with Kovacic, for example, or is Kante?
Yeah, but now it makes sense.
You know what it is though? I feel like for a lot of the season, there was the period when Tuchel first came in, Kante was injured. Then obviously lately we've had Kovacic out. So we haven't had many opportunities where all 3 of them are available. So
no, but that's why we've been able to predict it, Oscar.
Yeah, this weekend we can't predict it.
Well, I don't know, man. Do you think
Kovacic
is really match sharp to play?
Yeah,
I'll play Jorginho Kante.
He will be by Saturday.
It's Kante, Jorginho.
No, I'll play Jorginho Kante, and I'll like 60th minute sub on Kovacic for that, keep the ball and that.
Yeah.
For who? Kovacic for who?
No, I'll play Jorginho and Kante, and like later on, I'll play Kovacic and Kante.
No, but I'm saying, so you like, would you sub off Jorginho?
Yeah, I'd sub off Jorginho.
Depends on how the game's going.
It depends on the game.
I feel like Jorginho is great for controlling the game late on. Like,
exactly, that's the number one thing that we need.
Yeah, but
so what? So then
we need a sitter regardless.
Kovacic. Is that what
Kante and Kovacic are both 2 pressers, so you have a sitter next to either of them. So it has to be Jorginho and somebody.
Like we reversed against Liverpool, we played them with Kovacic and Kante, man.
No, against Liverpool, Jorginho.
Liverpool played Jorginho and Kante, but Kovacic was subbed on by Jorginho, man, and then Kovacic controlled the game well as well.
Fair enough.
By progressing
the last 10 minutes, let me have a look at that.
That's a fair point. I mean, he kicked the ball at Mane's head. I remember that.
The only time
does Giroud get a look in this game?
Yeah, I think Giroud.
Not till late.
I think Giroud doesn't.
Not yet.
Jorginho wasn't subbed off, by the way.
Yeah.
Only
if he came on one of the front 3.
Oh, it was
one thing we have to take into consideration is the likelihood of this game going to penalties. Yeah. And I'm going to be absolutely fucking.
Someone Caballero.
I can't do it.
Bro, we have to summon Caballero.
Either
Man.
way,
I'll have a heart
I would just
attack.
I would like it resolved in regular time. Either way, I don't want to. I can't sit through an extra.
Bro, if I sit through there,
I wouldn't mind an extra time winner though. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, for us.
For mental health reasons, I just don't think.
Yeah,
we should sit through that.
my mental health, man. Can we just do it in 90 minutes?
It's going to be high blood pressure.
If Kepa plays, if Kepa plays, bro, I'm done, bro.
He's going to play.
Bro, I'm nervous right now.
De Bruyne the lug shots, bro.
Kepa plays, I can't lie. So it's going to be a big problem for us. Big problem.
But you know what? Yeah, what if Mendy generally isn't like up to it, but we're going to pay him anyway, and it is, he does need to make that. Normally, that he makes that save and he won't make it, and they score.
You give him so many painkillers, he doesn't feel his ribs.
So you can shoot him up with all. Shoot those ribs up with every shot you have.
Bro. Hit him with the horse painkillers, bro.
Yeah. He has all summer to heal up.
For me,
doping, man. We have to do doping,
team. If Man City see what's his name, Kepa and goal, KDB, Gundogan, all of them are going to be licking their lips. Man.
Shooting practice, isn't it?
De Bruyne will smoke balls all day.
Dude.
Be shooting practice, wouldn't it? Be shooting practice.
Yep. 100%.
Like I love Kepa, man. Like I really want him to work, but just it wouldn't surprise us if even Fernandinho takes a shot, brother, and he scores. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that deep.
Set pieces, it becomes a nightmare.
Yeah. Where, Lewis?
He's just another little brother.
Where will you be sitting? Do you know?
Rooftop.
I'm behind the goal.
Are you?
Stand behind the goal. I don't know how high, I don't know how low, but stand behind the goal. That's all I know for now.
Up on the light post,
bro.
I just hope we win. That's all I'm thinking. Please, this will either be one of the greatest nights of my life or one of the worst nights of my life.
Yeah.
No in between.
It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah,
trust me. Man.
Imagine Jorginho scores an own goal, bro. Twitter will be melting.
What do you mean? Imagine Jorginho scores the winner with a penalty and it's a skip. I can't wait. The amount of penalties I can see on the timeline for this guy.
You know what, guys? I have not. I've got the complete opposite feeling to how I was in the FA Cup. FA Cup, I was so confident. I was so convinced we were going to win it and lift that trophy. And I don't feel like that now. I feel like we're just going to lose. I'm obviously I really do, and I backed it from January, man. I backed it.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that from you, man.
Yeah, Johnny, don't say that. You can feel it, but just don't tell me.
Some positivity.
Don't vocalize that.
Yeah, no, we need positivity. We'll reload.
Hey, Dad doesn't tell the kids this stuff, you know.
Let's go.
You said Dad doesn't tell the kids.
I'm just trying to put myself. I'm just trying to put myself in a spot where it's like, all right, I'm just happy to be there. Okay, let's just do it. Happy to be there.
It's just, I'm just nervous, man.
I like this guy. Yeah, Josh. All right, I hear you.
I'd rather not set myself up and then be utterly disappointed because if City turn up, it's just like, oh, limbs, man, that's long.
Yeah, I mean that's the downside. Is they're capable of beating the shit out of us, of
anyone. Yeah.
I think City are going to bottle it because of what Guardiola said in the press conference, man. He said the players are too confident. He said that I'm so confident in my players. Bro, I can't wait for Tuchel to stuff him up, man.
Did he say that before or after he lit that cigar up? Was that before or after? He was
after, bro.
Smoking that fat ass cigar.
Bro,
oh yeah, I can't wait. I was like, you're getting a bit cocky, man. That's a
Tuchel pack. Well, we're gonna be smoking that Guardiola pack next, bro.
Guardiola, yeah. When he went that cigar, though, Lewis.
Yo, if we lose the final to City, that's gonna be all over our timeline for the next week. Yeah, I'm not ready for that.
I'm just gonna
be his life, man.
Yeah, I'm off for a bit if we lose.
Yeah, just
trust me, man. We don't need to stream the next day. It's not necessary.
Hey, now's not the time to be talking careful, guys. We got to be confident. We might as well play it up.
I'm talking about if we lose. I'm with you the same thing. I wouldn't have made this months in advance and had UCL winners 2021. I didn't believe in the confidence. We can go there and win it. In a one-off game, we can beat anybody. It's just our fucking conversion, right? That's the problem.
Who's saying Kepa last minute header, man? Get the last minute header, bro.
That happens in limbs.
Bro, if that happens, bro.
I wouldn't care if it
Timo,
comes off.
no, I want
flipping-
Timo Werner last minute, man. Last
flipping
minute goal.
anyone's
I want
kneecap.
Timo Werner
I
last
don't
minute
care,
goal.
man.
I don't give a monkey's who scores.
I don't
Chris
care
Timson
where it
last
comes
minute.
off, how
Lewis is
it
gonna have
what it
Pepper
looks
scored,
like,
bro.
what time it is, as long as we
That's
win.
70 million, bro.
You know what I'm saying? We can score in the first 30 seconds and go 1-0 all the way and go through that trauma of them absolutely hammering it at us, and we win. I don't care. I take it any way like that.
Then, however,
Yep.
Werner
You know what
can
I mean?
we can miss-hit the ball from 5 yards. If it goes
But
in,
like,
it goes
but
in.
like,
I
you know,
don't care.
bro, do you man feel like these Chelsea players have like a mental barrier, bro, because of the finals and that, man? I think they have a mental block. I just don't know what it is, though, man.
Well, Kai Havertz and Werner.
This game.
This game is
have they won cups? Have they won any cups?
Kai Havertz, I think, has.
Yeah.
Nah, he doesn't. He was in a final. He lost. He lost
Nah.
against Bayern Munich.
Oh,
last
yeah,
season.
he lost
they
against
won.
Bayern, but he scored that clutch penalty.
Yeah.
He did score that clutch penalty.
Clutch
So-
penalty.
Yeah, no trophies for Havertz.
None for
Werner,
Werner
I think-
either.
Werner won with Germany, I think.
Let me check Werner quickly. Werner has
Zero trophy.
no trophies.
No,
Confederations Cup for Germany, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's a trophy.
Um,
What about Ziyech?
Ziyech has trophies.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got
Every division must have one.
And
Eredivisie
Pulisic
and,
for Dortmund?
yeah, I think he won a
Yeah,
DFB Pokal or something like
DFB
that.
Pokal.
One.
Yeah, he won something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure he won the
And
poll.
then you got
What about-
Thiago
Yeah, that's
Silva,
it. DFB
What about
poll.
Mason Mount? Has Mason Mount a trophy?
Jorginho's won.
Nah, Mason Mount hasn't got
Kante's
anything.
won.
Cho
Mason
won.
Two
Nah,
finals.
that's where
won
he won.
Europa League.
That's where he
It's
won.
basically our front line, bro. It's our front
The
line.
U4
man.
Cup. Didn't he win the U4 Cup of England?
Yeah, he's got a lot of
Yeah,
youth
man,
trophies.
Yeah, but
That's
not actual
Senior level.
senior
Hey, what
level.
did-
Yeah.
Hey, what did we think about like Tammy plus 40 for Rice?
Nah, that's a deal,
I'll
man.
take it.
I would do it.
Take
I'll
it.
They
take
won't
it
do
too.
that. The
Tell
last
me
one.
when
Thank
to
you,
buy there.
please.
I don't care, bro. I'm keeping Jorginho, man.
We
I don't care
value
about-
Tammy Abraham at 40 million. It's not to say other clubs do.
No question. Yeah, but
I'd
I
rather
mean,
have
When he
Barty or
last
Tammy.
had a touch for Chelsea was that 2-yard miss header against West Ham. That's their last look at him either. So I don't expect them to say 40 million plus Tammy would be cool.
I don't think they could like realistically think that they're going to get 80 for him though. I mean, it's possible, I
don't
guess,
think
but
they do either.
Not unless Man United come on the table and it's bidding war.
right. Yeah, I mean, it's
Tammy just
If
takes a lot.
United, I can see
Contract deal
United
stuff
going for
first.
Tammy, you know, because they're going to go for Sancho.
Nah,
I've
don't.
heard they want
I think they
Sancho.
won't go for Tammy because Cavani signed a contract, so I think they won't go for Tammy. They
Like,
won't
Yeah, but
happen.
Cavani won't play every game. The season, he's older. He's not going to play every
Yeah,
game.
I know. You know what's gonna
They
happen?
still need a striker.
Greenwood's gonna play up strike. He doesn't play
If
no
we
more.
want to sell Tammy, we have to look for somewhere that can accommodate Tammy. Like, we want to get
For
more
me-
value.
For me,
as
why not?
possible.
Why don't we go for like as a Tammy replacement? Why do we go for Jonathan David, man? He's a good player, bro. Like, he plays for Lille.
It's a big point from Dag as well. Declan Rice, they've got European football, so they have no reason to sell him either.
Toxic fan base that will kill any player that doesn't perform, bro.
No, we would have to rely on Declan Rice actually putting a request if we put a serious bid.
Johnny, they're in Europa League anyway. They're in Europa League.
Yeah, but
so-
he'll want to play Champions League with Chelsea and
they'll
actually
get,
win
and they'll
stuff.
get bounced quick.
No, but they're not gonna. He's not gonna ask for a transfer request because West Ham are in a good position. They're progressing as a club, and he doesn't want to have
Yeah.
the West Ham fans turn on him either.
I don't know. I think if our
Yeah, but we
offer's
only-
serious, if our offer's a good and serious offer, and it's close, then I think
But a
he will.
serious offer would have to be 80 million.
Well, I don't
And we're
think
not
we'd-
gonna do
we
that.
won't- We won't pay 80, but we might.
Chelsea will never
offer-
pay 80.
We might offer a player plus 50 million.
Oh, do you
50 would be fair.
think we should get two midfielders instead of one? Because I think
No,
we
but
should get two
even then, I'm
midfielders.
saying 50 mil for Rice is too much in my opinion. We could get
Personally-
another DM
per-
cheap.
He's
Personally, I
pedigree
think we
though.
should get
He's got proven
50 mils,
pedigree.
alright.
Man.
50 mils.
Nah,
But
that's-
You know
50
what
is a
it
deal.
is. You know what you're buying with Rice. You know what you're buying. When you're
Right.
looking at Tchouameni and all these players, you're not going to know how they turn out. With Rice, you know what he offers you. He's proven it. You've seen him week in, week out, whether it's on match of the day or not.
Attacking team, not in a possession-based team. That's a difference.
Yeah, but I think he can, man. I think
They
he
said
can.
the same thing about N'Golo Kante, man. That's what he used to say. That's what the job of the fans used to say.
N'Golo
That's what he used to say at the end of the day. Everyone
Yeah,
like
but
that.
when Kante came to Chelsea, we were a counter-attacking team too.
but he's doing it in this possession-based system, which is my point. So I think
Kante is a world class though, and he'd proven it for years before we even got to this system. That's the difference.
But he was in counter-attacking systems. I think the difference between Ligue 1 and EPL is bigger than the difference between counter-attacking and possession-based system.
Should we go for someone like Yuri Tielemans? If we can.
No. Tielemans, no chance we get him. Someone in the super chat said Ndidi. I'm saying the same thing. No chance we get Ndidi.
Yeah, flawless.
It's going to be Tchouameni, isn't it? It's going to be Tchouameni.
Yeah,
I
spoke to flawless. He wants Ndidi as well.
I'm not upset.
I think Tchouameni he's probably like the most, like on paper, like the most talented of the bunch. Like again, the downside is he's at Monaco, but I mean, Cesc said he seems to have all the minerals. So
If Cesc, like it's true, you know. If Cesc has come out and said it, we got to trust. Like I listened to Roy Keane and that on now. I've got to listen to Magical Cesc. You know what I'm saying? Like I like Rice. I think Rice is proven, but if he thinks Cesc at the end of the day has played for us and Arsenal in the Premiership, he knows what it takes in the Premiership. So if he thinks Tchouameni's got minerals, then and we can get him for 30 million.
Yeah, somewhere in that range, like probably like between 30, 35.
Yeah, let's go.
Then we have to loan out. Then we have to loan out Billy Gilmore. Then we have to loan out Billy Gilmore.
No, not necessarily, man.
Bro, we have to loan him out, man. I think we have to loan him out, man. Just for development, because he's not going to get any game time.
Yeah, you're going
to get any game time when he gets
I think it all depends on this final, guys. If we go and lose this final, I think there's going to be a lot more players leaving. If we win the final, it's going to be harder for players to leave, to be honest.
No, I don't think a lot of players will leave, even if we lose. I don't think a lot of players will leave.
Nah, they will, man. They will.
Nah, they won't.
Tuchel won't want them. He won't want them.
No.
Where do we move him?
Do you think that
I don't know, but he'll say, look. He'll look at. He might look at Kovacic or Jorginho, and he might generally go, "Do you know what? You've been on the big stage and you've flopped. Maybe you just haven't got it. And my system I want to play is this. So therefore, I'm happy to let you go. Bring Tchouameni in and keep Gilmore, for example. He might think like that. Or if we win, he might go, all right, I'll loan Gilmore, and I'll keep these three plus Tchouameni, and then it will go that. I don't think everyone, like Gabriel Marcotti said, there's only one player that's 100% certain to be in that squad next year, and that's Mason Mount. Everyone else is still. No, he said that. I got it clipped. He said that. There is no one guaranteed to be in that squad, and everyone is playing. Everyone's playing for their position, man. Everyone plays their position.
Is there
Havertz will be there. Thiago Silva will be there.
Don't think Werner, Havertz, Pulisic, Ziyech. All these players are safe, man, because they're not.
No, wait. What about Mendy though? Is Mason Mount going and goal? What's happening?
well, Mendy might be a potential stay. Yeah, of course.
Is there anybody?
I say potential, and the reason I say potential is he's going to go away with the African Cup of Nations, right? And that means you've either got to rely on Kepa for that period.
Exactly, that's a new goalkeeper.
Or you got to struggle to sell Kepa and actually bring in a decent keeper, which might disrupt Mendy. So there's a bit of play there. I just feel with Mount, there's no play at all whatsoever.
But how would Mount fit in the back four though? Where would he play?
Not defensively, bro. I'm saying.
What about
in his position? His position is completely safe. No. Everyone else's position can be. If Tuchel wants, he can replace him, man.
Is there anybody
competition?
Is there anybody like currently on loan for you guys that you would be excited to have back next year?
Mark Gay,
Trevor Chalobah.
Yeah, he's been great.
Lewis, have you seen the absolute Chelsea tweet about Kante?
Just because we need that
break my heart.
We're probably gonna buy someone, but yeah.
What is it, Fata?
What's the tweet, bro? What's the tweet?
Nah, bro. If Kante's gone, yeah, bye-bye.
Are you shitting me? Please don't tell me.
Wait, what's the tweet, man?
I'm trying
to.
wait
for playing Trevor.
Tell us, man.
Fuck all of that, man.
No, good news.
Absolute Chelsea. They haven't put a tweet out about Kante yet.
They have.
I haven't seen it.
Can you
10
read
minutes
out?
ago.
Put it on the share screen, man.
N'Golo Kante is not in the training.
What?
Well, they said he's not coming back till Wednesday.
He said it in the press conference. He's not training till Wednesday.
Yeah, him and Mendy will be back Wednesday.
Or maybe
there's no tweet. What is he talking about?
Yeah, I don't see
No,
the
you
tweet.
sure it's not a fake account? Have a look, man.
What are you doing to us, bro? Why are you?
I'll send you a DM.
I don't need that.
DM. I'll send you a
Right
DM.
now,
Bravo, man. Don't do this. Don't do this to us.
Yeah, you can't do
Come on,
that.
Fata, bro, come on.
I'll send you a
Bro.
DM. Look, I'm not even
Some
joking.
sensitive people over here, bro.
Fake, man.
Look, I'm not even joking.
Bro, it's fake.
What
He
are you doing?
tosses, man.
Oh,
That's a
mate,
fake
that's a
account.
fake account.
Fake, Absolute Chelsea. It's absolute Chelsea. It's
No,
absolute
bro,
Chelsea.
that's absolute
Chelsea.
Chelsea. The
That's
account
That's
is
absolutely not
Oh
Chelsea.
shit, never mind.
Check your mirrors.
You got
Oh shit, I fell for this.
you got baited. You got baited.
He got baited,
Oh
then
my
he baited
God.
all of us.
Wait, that's still absolute Chelsea, right?
That's
No,
absolutely
no,
not Chelsea.
That is not the only real one.
The real act is absolute Chelsea.
That's
Look at how many followers they have. That's got 1,000. Absolute Chelsea over 100,000.
Oh my god.
Literally no minerals. Literally no minerals, man. No minerals.
Mate,
Fake news, bro.
false
man,
minerals,
don't
man.
do this
False
to me.
minerals,
Oh my
man.
God, man.
and my day's been shit enough, man. Come on.
Either way,
Yeah, I got baited for sure. That's yeah, but
either way, the two of the guys will be back on Wednesday anyway. That's
why
okay.
there's so many trolls in here, man? Jeez, some people.
Man,
Yeah,
read the app properly
It's Twitter.
before you start saying that shit.
Oh
Fuck's
my
sake.
That E-Rock comment is hilarious, bro.
I said, Fatter, I'm sending you my medical bill. I just had a heart attack,
On
bro.
that note, I got to go, guys. My stomach's ruptured, bruv. I got to go toilet, man. That's
Stay off the map.
Fatter, see what you done to this man now.
Look what you done to me,
Fuck's sake.
man. Big
Look,
up,
he's
man.
got to get rid of all of his minerals now and
No,
everything.
my minerals are getting flushed, bruv. They're getting flushed.
CBA, man.
CBA.
Alright, anyone got any final thoughts before we wrap the stream up?
transfer news again, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday.
Not
before
from
you
you,
go.
not from you, Fat. No chance.
Yeah, not from you.
Definitely.
Hey, Johnny shitted out about to lose medals, man.
Oh, mate, man. Alright, big up everyone who's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. Check out everyone's socials down in the description below if you guys haven't done so already. We might be back tomorrow. Might not. It depends on the news. Like that Willian news is dry as hell, to be honest. But big up everyone who's locked it. If you're doing a watch along, I might do on Flawless's channel. I'll let you know. But big up everyone who's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button. And we are out.